What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? All right, let me know where you're checking in from as you come in into the chat. Hit the like button as you come in. Let me know where you're checking in from. Let me know where you're checking in from. Hit that like button as you come in. Let me check something real quick. Check, check, check. Hit that like button as you come in. Hit that like button as you come in. Let me know where you're checking in from. Let me know where you're checking in from. Let me know where you're checking in from. Hit that like button. Yeah, I know I say check. Let me know where you're checking in from every week, but that just helped me give an account of just the region of people that subscribers, people that watch. It helps me keep up for data purposes. Ohio in the building, as always. Shelby, North Carolina. VA in the building. Hit that like button as you come in. Florida, West Palm Beach, Florida. A couple Floridas in here. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. I think we just hit 4,000 subscribers on YouTube, like literally 5 minutes before I came on. So shout out to all the subscribers. Hit 4,000 subscribers in, what is this, 5 months? So according to YouTube data, I'm about 3 years ahead of schedule. So what's going on? What's going on? West Palm Beach, Florida, North Carolina, Miami in the building, DMV. What's going on? YouTube hates truth tellers. DMV in the building. Miami, North Carolina. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. We're going to go ahead and get started in about probably 2 or 3 minutes. Maybe less than that. Go ahead and get started. Then I'll just let people come in. Got a good presentation tonight. Tonight we're going to be talking about reducing costs in your trucking business. This is an issue that I know a lot of people have. It's an issue that I help people correct. So I put together a presentation tonight with just some general stuff to help people, reduce cost and some things that people may not know. I'm not going to go really, 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 really broad, but just some general stuff that could help someone in their trucking business reduce costs. And then, before that, we just talk about a few current topics in and around the space. I'm not going to dwell on these things too much because the presentation may go a little bit long and the Q&A session always goes very long. So Derek, what's going on? Let me know where you're checking in from as you come in. Hit that like button. Also, before we get started, let's see here. It's been just a lot of people that have been subscribing that are interested in the cargo van business. I'm not sure. I haven't done the research. I don't know why there is. I don't want to say it like it's a bad thing, but there is a uptick in people that are expressing interest in getting into the cargo van sprinter business. I'm thinking maybe it's due to the fact that truck rentals are very expensive and they're scarce, and the stipulations that they're putting on the truck rentals now. I've heard $10,000 deposits in some places, 4,000, 5,000. I had a couple mentees that paid in the $3,000 to $4,000 range deposit. Obviously, you guys know the truck rental prices are still high. The mileage rates are still high, and the stipulations are getting stricter. I'm hearing 2 years in business. You got to have a brick and mortar. Just a bunch of things that are going on in the truck rental side, which I'm thinking, because I've just seen this uptick like in the past maybe 30 days of people. Mark, what's up with cargo? Can you talk more about cargo? So I'm thinking a lot of people are going the cargo van route or expressing interest in the cargo van route because it's hard to get into the truck thing because of the stipulations, and the rental truck companies, they're not placing those stipulations on the cargo van. So I did the poll. I think out of 70, 80 people that took the poll, 73% say yeah, they want me to do a live stream on scaling the cargo van business. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that this Sunday. At 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time here on YouTube. So, Sunday is usually my the day where I step out with the guys and we go maybe watch a few football games and we hang out. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to dedicate this Sunday night to whoever wants to come, since it was 73%. Hopefully, the people who are interested in this show up. I'm gonna put together a good presentation for you guys on how to scale a cargo van delivery business. So that'll be this Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. All right. So that's for everybody that's been asking me about cargo van. 7:30 p.m. this Sunday night. How to scale a cargo van delivery business here on YouTube. I created a Facebook page where you can find me under Mark the Mentor, and I'll be streaming there as well. I believe I'm streaming there now. So that's for everybody who's interested in cargo van this Sunday night. All right, so let's get into it so we can move this show along so we can get to what I know most people are here for, and that's the Q&A. All right, so autonomous robots and drones. Did a video earlier. You guys really didn't care about it. Worst numbers I've seen in the last 10 videos I put out. You guys are only interested about things that are going to make you money. Usually I put out video at 9 a.m. in the morning. By this time, it's usually about 600 or 700 views. Some may hit 1,000. This video is struggling past 100. So you guys aren't really interested in autonomous drones or robots. So, and you probably don't have to worry about them because I don't think they're going to come into fruition anytime soon. Drones, Amazon and a few other companies have been testing them out for the past few years. Amazon just recently, they didn't throw in the towel. They're claiming they're just putting it on halt. There's just too many issues. And I'm just telling this for people who didn't watch the video. There's just too many issues. They got drones blowing up, exploding. There's concern about who's going to cover the cost of the communal landing strips and launching pads. A lot of people think these things are just going to land on their front porch or land in their backyard, land in their front yard, and it doesn't work like that. You have to, these things, they have to be launched and landed, in a certain type of way to prevent people from getting hurt and things of that nature. And no one wants to pay for the construction of the communal landing strip and launching pad. So Amazon, they're just like, we're tired of funneling money into this thing. We're going to pull the plug on this, and we're going to reallocate the 400 people that have been working on this, or however many people it was for the past couple of years. We'll put them somewhere else. Other companies I see are kind of taking a back seat to it. Another thing is regulation. These drones got to get regulated. It's just like airplanes. If they let everybody put these drones in the air delivering packages, they're going to get to crashing into each other. So there's got to be some type of air traffic control. And there's just a lot of things that are not in place that the government has to get in and start funding, like the federal regulations and the traffic, the communal landing strips and launching pads, all that stuff. I know some companies looked at, instead of landing, just doing like parachute deliveries, like where the drone is flying and then the delivery just drops from the drone in the parachute. But I think that's only going to work for things that weigh, it's not going to work for things that are heavier. All right. So drones are kind of on the back seat right now. All right, guys. So no need to really worry about drones replacing any box trucking jobs or middle mile, final mile jobs in the near future. All right, let's talk about autonomous robots. Same thing. Autonomous robots, they've been trying it. Seattle, I think in Tennessee, I know LA. You see those little robots running down the sidewalk delivering stuff, food for the most part, some package delivery. It's not working. I'm looking at videos. If you watch the video I put out today, I put a few videos. In that video, you got guys kicking the things over. You got guys kicking the things over, robbing them for the pizza. and stuff like that. So we'll take a look at something real quick with you guys. Let me share my screen here. Amazon and FedEx this week, which is interesting. We're going to start with Amazon first. Amazon, let's go here. Amazon and FedEx have both pulled the plug on on their autonomous robots for right now. All right. So Amazon scrapped theirs I think last week. So they scrapped it. I think they did partner with this company Scout. I think Scout was the company that was building it, and they were running this in a few markets. I think Tennessee is where they were testing Scout at, and they were doing surveys with the customers that obviously they that were lucky enough to get an Amazon delivery with one of these things, and the surveys didn't come back that good. This is the position that Amazon is saying while they are scrapping this. They're saying it was due to the surveys for the customers who received deliveries from these robots. The surveys didn't come back with good results, so they're scrapping it. I think there's more to it. I think people were kicking them over. I think people were robbing them. And FedEx, same thing. So that's Amazon. FedEx ends development of its same day delivery robot, which they were calling theirs Roxo. I just think, matter of fact, let me show you guys something. Let's go here. Let's take a look at this one.
This is why these food delivery robots will never work. Don't invest in this company. Look at this. Watch this.
And there's plenty other videos on YouTube that are similar. Here's one that literally rolled through a crime scene. You know, there's a few more. I've seen one guy kick one over. So um, I think that in both of these companies, and you FedEx and Amazon both canceled uh, within this past week. So I don't think we need to worry about them replacing any final mile jobs anytime soon. The only thing that I can see that probably be sooner than later, and there'll probably be a mainstay, is autonomous vehicles. I think Domino's is experimenting with an autonomous delivery vehicle where you walk up to the car, you punch a code in, and I think the window rolls down or the door unlocks, and you can just reach in and get your pizza or something like that. I think that'll probably be here before these things will work. These things are just too easy to rob. It's not going to work in a city like New York. It's definitely not going to work in LA. It's definitely not going to work in Chicago, and probably not Atlanta. Cities like that, um, and I'm not dissing anybody's city. I live in Chicago, so I'm telling you, that's not going to work. They're going to rob that thing every time they see it coming down the street. That thing is a walking lick. All right, let's move along. Amazon early access. So anybody's been on the Amazon app today, they're doing that early access sale, which I talked about 2 or 3 weeks ago when the news broke. Started today, so you guys might want to go on there and get you some good things. I picked up some good things today. It's a real good sale. It's today and tomorrow. So the purpose of me talking about this, you guys that do Amazon Relay, this may be an uptick that you've been looking for. I know it's been slow in a lot of markets, a lot of canceled loads, low volume. Amazon is doing this to kind of get rid of a lot of stock. I know I've been talking about the overabundance of stock that a lot of retailers has. Nike announced last week that they have a ton of stuff that they got to get rid of, so they're going to probably start sending stuff to Ross and TJ Maxx and to the Nike outlets, and probably do like sneaker drops on the sneaker app and things of that nature. A lot of retailers just have an overabundance of stock, but Amazon is also using this pop up sale right before your Black Friday and your Cyber Monday sales, because they're using this sale to kind of gauge consumer, buying, consumer behavior, and it's going to give them some type of idea of what this upcoming peak season is going to look like, and it's giving them an opportunity to collect data. All right. No one, well, we know why volume is down. We know why people aren't buying, but they're using this data, to kind of forecast and project things for next year. If this 2-day sale does not go good, then it's going to further, just prove that, people are just not spending money. We know why they're not spending. People have money, they're not spending it for a specific reason. Then other people just don't have money. A lot of people overspent. A lot of people that are in the space still think they're going to see a peak season from last year. I'm not going to talk about peak season because I'm not going to continue to beat a dead horse. It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? So Amazon early access sale, you guys should hopefully see volume increase this week, next week, due to this sale. But if you do not see an uptick in volume with some of the stuff that they have on sale, they got some stuff for some good prices. I picked up some stuff. If you don't see an uptick, then you're gonna know what this year's peak season is gonna be like. I'm not, like I said, we're gonna see a peak season, but if you're hoping and you're praying for a peak season like last year, if last year was your first rodeo in this space and you're just thinking that what you saw last year is like the every peak season, no, it's not. So to all you rookie 1 year people, last year's peak season was probably once in a lifetime. You probably never see nothing like that in this lifetime again. Normal peak season, guys. Normal. All right. So that's Amazon early access. Contractor employee. Big thing happened today with the Biden administration. I talked about this a few months ago. The Biden did the infrastructure bill, and part of that infrastructure bill that he signed into law last year there was a part called the PRO Act, which focuses on the misclassification of employees. Employees and independent contractors. I know a lot of you guys have heard of AB5 that's going on out in California. So basically, the PRO Act is just a carbon copy. It's a mirror of that, but on a federal level, which is going to put it on a national scale. There's a lot of things that they say, a lot of gig employers, the trucking industry. So gig and trucking industry is going to affect the most. They're saying, companies use a lot of tactics to um, and wording and verbiage to get around actually paying people certain things. They're saying, regardless of if you're fully vested into the business yourself, you think you're self-employed or you're an independent contractor, in their verbiage, you may still be an employee. So even if you own your own truck, you pay your own fuel, like what's going on out there in California, they still have to classify you as an employee. Pretty much the independent contractor, like in the trucking and the gig economy, Uber, Lyft, is pretty much eliminated out there. It's pretty much, so basically that lease on that doesn't exist anymore. It's either you own your own trucking company or you're an employee. That whole I own a truck but I'm running under your authority, that's over with. That's over with in California. And if the Biden administration um, um, has their way, which they probably are, the reason why it hasn't really been implemented already is because Obama had something they were working on that was similar. The Trump administration came in and they kind of reconfigured the labor practices for employees and independent owner operators, independent contractors, rather, where the Trump administration kind of favored the way things have been running for years in favor of the independent contractor. The Biden administration is kind of reverting back to what the Obama administration was starting, and they're calling it fair practices. So this was dropped today. It was a bombshell. It sent ripples through the trucking community. It sent ripples through the gig economy. Stocks tanked today because of the Uber tank, Lyft tank, trucking companies. Everyone's in fear now because if what's going on out in California with AB5, if that becomes national under the PRO Act, then that's going to be a big deal. So it's going to hurt a lot of people. It's going to help a lot of people. We obviously know who's going to help, right? The big companies, your JB Hunts, your Schneiders, those big companies, they're just going to welcome you in with open arms. They don't care. They're too big to fail. So the small independent contractor who probably owns a couple small regional routes, who has guys leased on under his authority, that's over with. Either you're going to run your own trucks as your own trucking business, or you're going to pay these guys that are leased onto your authority as employees. And we already know that an independent owner operator with their authority that's on a small scale won't be able to afford to do that. They'll get swallowed. So real quick, I'm not going to get deep into it because the verbiage may, you got to take time to really read this and understand. I've been following it since Biden was first talking about it last year, so I kind of understand it. But it's going to take too long to kind of break it down so you can understand. But before we look at it, just in layman's terms, AB5 just pretty much in simple terms eliminated the independent owner operator. All right. So it's either your company driver or you're your own trucking company. If your own trucking company, you run your trucks, you can have people who have their own trucks that would operate normally in normal circumstances as an independent owner operator. They own their own truck, they pay their own fuel. But if they're running under your authority, even though they pay their own bills, you have to pay and classify them as an employee. All right. So that's what AB5 and that's what the federal government is trying to do with this bill. All right, let's take a look at it real quick. I just want to read some of the verbiage for you guys, and then we're going to move along. Give me 1 second here. Let me pull this up. Hit that like button for me, guys, as you come into the building. Hit that like button for me as you come into the building. All right, let me add this to the stream real quick. And let me put myself over here. All right. Let's take a look at this. See how a lot of people left the room. See, I'll be looking at the numbers too. See, everybody want to know about, and see, that's another thing. Everybody want to know about, Mark, where can I make money? What company? What company? See, all this plays a part. You got to know all this. And this is what I'll be trying to explain to people. Stuff like this is important because somebody will go out right now and try to start a trucking business. And then a year from now, this goes into effect and you got leased on. You start a trucking company, you got people leased on, and then this happens and then you're out of business. When I'm giving a free live stream on this, so you'll be in the know. But I went from 30 some people to 20 because people don't. This is what I'm saying. You got to know business. You got to know everything that's going on so you can stay aware is to stay alive. Me, I'm not investing into a trucking business right now, and I'm thinking, I'm gonna go hire on leased on drivers under my authority. I'm gonna get money like that, knowing that this can come into fruition, knowing this they can enact this. Because now I'm building something to just be in business for 9 years to have to go out of business. And this is what I be talking about. This stuff ain't boring. If you're going to be in the trucking business, you got to know all this. You got to know it all. You know what I'm saying? So that you can stay ahead of the curve. It's more than cost per mile, rate per stop, and all this stuff. And I be trying to get you guys to, well, not everybody, some people, but it's funny how I see the fluctuation and stuff. It's just funny to me, but it is what it is. So let's get in. Let's get into this. So this is the Biden administration revising the rule on independent contractors. I'm not going to read the article. What I want to do though, I want to the rule. We're going to read the proposed rule. All right. So do me a favor, hit that like button if you're coming in. Hit that like button for me if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for me and hit that like button. I really appreciate it. This is a free live stream. I'm not getting paid, so least thing you can just hit the like button for your boy as I give my 13 years of being in this industry and knowledge for people that are interested in learning about box trucking. All right, so I already read this. I just want to get to a specific part for you guys because I don't want to waste too much time because the verbiage, like I said, if you haven't been following it, you got to kind of catch up on it. Oh man, I should have marked it. I should have downloaded and marked it. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. It was a specific part in here I wanted to read for you guys. Hold on. Oh man, I should have marked it. Hold on, guys. Ooh, is this? All right. I think this is it. Explain below as using the proposed. The term independent contractor refers to workers who, as a matter of economic reality, are not economically dependent on their employer for work and are in business for themselves. Such workers play an important role in the economy and are commonly referred to by different names, including independent contractor, self employed, and freelancer. Regardless of the name or title used, The test for whether the worker is an employer or independent contractor under the FLSA remains the same. The proposed rulemaking is not intended to disrupt the business of the independent contractors who are, as a matter of economic reality, in business for themselves. Determining whether an employment relationship exists under the FLSA begins with the Act's definitions. Although FLSA does not define the term independent contractor, it contains expansive definitions of employer, employee, and employee. Employer is defined to include any person acting directly or indirectly in the interest of an employer in relation to an employee is defined as an individual employed by an employer, employed by an employer, and employed to is defined to include to suffer or permit to work. All right, so that was the part that, and it's kind of like a tongue twister too, but that was the key part from me reading this earlier, and I mean, if you understand that, it's pretty much saying, they're basically changing the verbiage, the language, what we commonly know as employee and independent contractor. They're saying if you directly involved with the company and employer, you're doing work for them in so many words, you're an employee. That's what AB5 is. Mark owns a truck. Mark doesn't have authority. You have authority. All right. You have contracts. I lease on to your company under your authority. You take a percent. I still pay my truck fees, pay my truck costs, pay fuel. I'm a 1099 under your company. That model no longer exists. Technically, I'm an employee. That's what AB5 is, and that's what I read in so many words, because I'm doing the work directly for you, even though I own my own truck. I pay my own fuel. I'm doing work for you. I didn't go out and get this contract on my own. I'm doing the work for you. All right. So even though I pay my own expenses, technically you got to label me as an employee. So that's the easiest way I can break it down. That verbiage is kind of confusing. I know when AB5 first started, it took me a while to kind of understand the verbiage myself. It took me some months because it didn't affect us here in Illinois. It was only affecting them out there in California. But then when Biden did the infrastructure bill, and a part of the infrastructure bill had the PRO Act in it, and it's pretty much a carbon cut copy of AB5 on a federal level. That's going to affect everybody, every state. So AB5 for every state is basically what it is. And for one more time, for people who still don't under AB5, it's just say leased on drivers are obsolete. It's either your own trucking company or you're an employee. No, nothing in between anymore. You can't lease on to anybody anymore. If you're leasing on to them, technically you're an employee. All right. So, all right. All right. Next, box truck in a tricky game. All right. So this is a video. Came out Sunday. Did really well. I guess some people said that people's feelings got hurt. At the end of the day, the reason why I do videos like that once in a while is really to wake people up. Wake people up. Once I I talk to people every day. I read and respond to pretty much every single comment, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Facebook, or whether it's on Instagram. And everybody has their viewpoints. Everybody researches and goes to different people, but I'm a practical person. I'm practical. All right. I'm not gonna, like I say, I'm not gonna give you the positivity speech and hypnotize you with, it all the good things and talk. I'm giving you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because see, here's the thing: if you don't know the bad and the ugly, you're gonna jump into it when the bad and the ugly happen, because it's gonna happen. It's just like the truck. It's not a factor or a matter of if it's gonna break down, it's when it's gonna break down. You got to know the good and the bad and the ugly of this game. The margins in this game are small. And I always say that. Like, you got to know if you can maneuver through something because you can expect and you can forecast that it's coming, you'll save yourself a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? So it just goes back to what I was saying a few minutes ago. Once I'm looking at the numbers in the chat. It goes from 37, 40 people. As soon as I get to talking about the contractor, independent contractor, and employee, the numbers start going down, right? So, like I said, that's boring, but you want to be in the box trucking game. So if you want to be in the box trucking games, like I always say, I be having to beat a dead horse sometimes. Like you got to know everything. You got to know everything, because then in a year from now, you're gonna jump in and you're gonna be like, man, Mark, what's gonna happen? I ain't got 4 or 5 trucks. I got guys leased on. Now they talking about this ProAct stuff. And I'm gonna be like, man, you've been following me, you've been subscribing mine for a year now. I did a whole thing on the podcast about it. But you clicked off because it was boring. But you built a whole business out on independent contractors, and guess what? Now your business is obsolete. But if you would have paid attention, you would have realized that, maybe I shouldn't do that. I'm not taking a chance, because they already got it out in California. And Mark talking about this, they bringing it on the federal level. You know what I'm saying? He did the presentation. He showed it. It's probably going to happen. All right. But you clicked off because you only care about cost per mile and which company is paying the most. All of it matters. This is how you can dodge a bullet, by not building and scaling a business in this manner. Don't invest in something that's uncertain, because if they do this, it's going to kill that whole model. It's either going to be you got your own business and you're running your guys as employees, or you're going to be a company driver. Ain't going to be no in between. And it looked like it's going that way. And the reason why I know it's going that way is because when the truckers and when Uber and Lyft and the trucking companies or whoever, the independent owner operators, tried to take it to the Supreme Court to look at it, to prevent it from going into law, when the Supreme Court finally looked at AB 5 in July of this year, they looked at it and they said, no, we're not going to pick this case up. The moment they said they're not picking it up, they refused it. They refused to look at it and refused to take it out. It immediately went into law. The only reason it was being held off was because they took it to the Supreme Court. All right. The Supreme Court looked at it and they said, nah, we're not picking this up. And that immediately sent it into law. All right. It's a reason why they didn't look at it, because your president or our president is trying to push this on a federal level. So it's already etched in stone. A lot of things that happen years down the line is already planned years ahead of time. It's probably gonna happen. They didn't look at it. It's a reason why they didn't look at it. This thing put 90,000 independent owner operators in California. Was it 70 or 90 out of business? I think that's something big enough for the Supreme Court to look at. Uber and Lyft are big enough companies that the Supreme Court will probably pick up. It's a reason why they looked at it and said, nah. They probably were directed not to, because this is going to happen on a federal level eventually. All right. So that's that. You guys got to understand. You guys got to pay attention to the full scope of business, so you don't get in these jams. You got to know this stuff before it's coming. So that's why I did the box trucking is a tricky game, because it's a tricky game. Things could be going good today, and then tomorrow your truck can break down. Or you could be running final mile for a good year with, let's say, XPO or JB Hunt working on Best Buy contract. But guess what? Because you're doing a good job with, let's say, XPO, and you're doing a good job on your route for Best Buy through XPO on a national scale, Best Buy is not satisfied with the numbers that XPO is doing for home delivery on a national level. So even though your route is doing good on a national level, XPO is failing Best Buy. So they're gonna take their business maybe to JB Hunt final mile, or maybe Werner final mile, and see if they can do a better job, because customers are steady calling, complaining. I had an 8 to 12 window. The truck still ends it here. It's 7 o'clock at night, and I still haven't gotten a call. If those numbers and aren't good, I've been doing this a long time. I've had accounts with logistics companies, and they lost the account. And when they lose the account, we lose the account. So now we got to go reapply with whoever picked up the new account. The only way you're going to fold if someone switches logistics companies, if a bigger logistics company buys the company that you're running for. That's happened to me too before. We had IKEA through Dynamics. Dynamics lost it to Urban Express. Urban Express doesn't exist no more. Urban Express got the account once Dynamic lost it. We went and applied to Urban Express. We got it. And then a few months later, XPO bought Urban Express out. And we folded under XPO. We were already there since they bought it. But then they hit me with the $3-4 million umbrella. And I'm like, no, I'm out of here. I'm already spending a lot on insurance to run this county. You want me to add a $3-4 million umbrella on top of this for this stuff, and it's not even worth it. This is IKEA. It'd be different if I was delivering Samsung refrigerators all day, and each refrigerator was $5,000-$6,000. Then okay, I get the umbrella, but I'm not gonna spend get a $3-4 million umbrella on top of $1 million for IKEA. It just too much money, and it didn't make sense. So, it's a tricky game, and you got to know how to play the game. You got to be prepared for the game. All right. You got to be prepared. So when I did that video, it was just to really wake some people up. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no harm intended, because I think a lot of people that got into the game early this year, last year, got hit with that rude awakening. And it probably hurt some people. Some people probably was, damn, he talking about me. I'm not talking about nobody specifically, but man, you got to snap out of it and get to it. Now's the time to work. Ain't no such thing as not working hard in this industry. Yeah, last year you got in the game, it was trillions of dollars the government was putting out. People had money to spend, and they spent it. Volume was up. And people sold people these dreams that this is just always like that. And I'm looking at it like, no, the hell is not. And now that stuff is messed up, like you got people robbing Peter to pay Paul, because they invested in at a rate where rates were high, and then they bought in at a high rate, bought high trucks, got high rentals. Now rates went down, but they still got these high costs. And then they're watching the news, and the news saying, man, it's going to get worse. We're going to go into a recession, man. The housing market, we got 7.2 APR interest rate. People probably going to lose their home. This many people unemployed. People don't. It's just a bunch of stuff going on. We're going to go up another 125 basis points. You got people with 750 credit scores right now getting quotes for 7.2 interest rates on homes. It's ridiculous, right? So, man, that video was just to wake people up, man. Don't take it personal. It's a tricky game. I've had my ups and I had my downs. It wasn't just a straight arrow up. It was bumps in the road. There's been times where, man, I was rich, then I was poor. I had a lot of money, lost a lot of money. One account, you lose one big account, and say you run a final mile, you lose one big account, that may account for 40% of your business. When I lost Office Depot at that time, that was 9 trucks I was running. That was 9 trucks for that one account. That's a tricky game. I had to figure out what to do with those 9 trucks. All right, because I was used to making that money. That was easy money. Easy money. Easy money. All right. So, you can't control this sometimes. Every stuff don't last forever. Even if you run a middle mile, let's say Amazon Relay. Man, Amazon Relay, the volume is determined by consumer. If the consumers are buying, then great. It's work for everybody. If demand is high, and the supply is low, which the supply is owner operators with their truck, then guess what? Rates are going to go up. But right now, volume is low. So it's a tricky game. One like how it was earlier. So now you got people scrambling, trying to figure out. You got people on the run from the rental companies. You want to know why these stipulations? I'm going to tell you why these stipulations on these rental trucks. Because you got a lot of people that got into these rentals earlier this year, last year, at 16, 17, 18, 19. Sky's the limit. You pick a number. And that's what they paying per week. 1,000, 12, 13, 14, 1,500. Rates were high. Wasn't no big deal. A lot of people didn't know they was paying a high rate. They didn't feel it because rates were high. Everybody's making money, right? Now rates are low. Now rates are low, volume is low. But the rental cost is still up there. Or the finance cost for people that bought $80,000, $90,000 trucks is still up here. So let's talk about the rental people. They paying this amount of money for rent for their rental truck, but volume and stuff is down here. Now, when these rental companies going to hit that card every week, you think that money there? The money ain't there. You know how many people you might be pulling into the dock to do Amazon Relay, and the person in the bay door right next to you probably on the land with his rental truck, quiet as kept. Mr. Steve, what's going on? How you doing, man? Yeah, man, your card declined. What's going on? Yeah, you know what? Hit it tomorrow. The money will be there tomorrow. Okay, Mr. Steve, you've been running with us for about 9 months now. We appreciate your business. Okay, no problem. We're just wondering because it's not, usually when I charge your card on Friday, money is there. So I just wanted to give you a call, make sure you're doing okay. Everything is fine. Yeah, the money will be there tomorrow. They go hit the card tomorrow, decline. Hey, Mr. Steve, what's the card was declining again? Yeah, I didn't make it to the bank yet. Just give me, hit it again. What time you guys close? Hit it before you leave. They hit it again. Boom. Call Mr. Steve. Now, no answer. Monday, call Mr. Steve. No answer. Now the phone going straight to voicemail because Mr. Steve done blocked them. Now they reporting their truck stolen. And it's a pattern. Not only is that occurring, right? And the reason why that's occurring because people got high rental rates are low, everything's done. They don't have no cash flow. They're not making enough money to cover their high expenses. But instead of doing the right thing and saying, you know what, I failed, turn these people truck in, they keeping the truck, making the money. Now they just feel like I'm on the run. Catch me when they catch me, right? So that's making it bad for all the new people that's trying to come into the game that may have the right mentality and the right, the right business sense. They're going to do right, but now they getting hit with you got to put a $10,000 deposit down. You got to be in business 2 years, which doesn't make sense if you're trying to start a business. You ain't business 2 years. Brick and mortar. Why does a owner operator have to have a brick and mortar? They're making it hard because the new apples. You think the rental companies, as they make billions of dollars a year, you think they don't have data? They know why their trucks are not coming back. That's why they're putting these stipulations on. They don't want to deal with no new people because they know new people, they see, damn, we messed up. We have people in research and development. When that infusion of capital hit, an influx of people got into the space, we should have known that the economy was going to have a downturn because it was inevitable. And a lot of these people that jumped in, they had the money, but they might have not been business savvy. And eventually they weren't going to be able to have enough cash flow to sustain their business once the rates go down. And then guess what? You got people not bringing the trucks back for PMs. I've said this stuff over and over again, but if you notice, the stipulations is getting harder and harder and harder and harder and harder. That's why I'm seeing an infusion of people that are hitting me up like, Mark, can you tell me about the cargo van business? Because they can't get a truck. So now people want to get into the cargo van business. And that's why I'm saying box trucking is a tricky game. You know what I'm saying? And it's getting trickier because of, the bad apples. But that's that, man. So, I just, I don't know what to say. When people tell me about these stipulations, I really don't know what to say. But I noticed 1 week it's $2,000 deposit, 5,000. I had a person say, man, they told me 10 grand. 10 grand. I had to put 10 grand down. 10 grand be in business 2 years. They said $1,500 a week and 30 cents a mile. Tricky game, man. So it's still ways to enter the game. It's still ways to make money. You're gonna have to work. You're gonna have to work hard, and you're gonna have to, beyond working hard, you gotta work smart. You gotta work smart. You gotta use your brain. You gotta know now is the time to maneuver. It ain't like how when most of these people got into the game last year. And if you were one of those people and you still in the game and you watching this, now survival mode. You know what's going on right now? You being battle tested. This is what we call battle testing. All right. If you can survive this, then you're gonna get to that next phase of what I talked about last week and growing your business and scaling your business. If you can survive this, and with your cost of entry, then you're gonna win for a very long time. You being battle tested right now. All right. I've been through it, you know what I'm saying? It probably wasn't as harsh for me as it is for people now with the cost of entry. Things just were different back then. Truck costs were way cheaper. I was battle tested in other realms of this business, but right now it's an economy thing. All right. You gotta be strong, you gotta work very hard, and you need to think. You need to think, get free information. You see me on here Tuesday night, I'm giving you free information. Come in on Tuesday night. stop what you're doing because you want to survive. You've invested. You've been in it. We want to see you win. So man, it's a tricky game, and don't let the game out trick you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to talk about that no more. We'll probably revisit that maybe in November again or something. All right. So, all right, let's get into reducing costs in your trucking business. What I want to do now, I'm gonna put on this slideshow, and it's gonna be detailed, but I'm not gonna go really into detail because there's a lot of things you can do to reduce costs in your trucking business. Um, and it can take a really long time. I'm gonna give you basic general things that you can do. Some of the things you probably know, some of you probably don't know. I wanted to make it real interesting for you, and then I'll probably do a deep, broad version of it and maybe sell it on my website for $29 or something. All right, real cheap, so it'll be affordable. But this will be really good. Hold on 1 second, guys. Let me kill this. No, I want to kill it. Hold on. Let's see here. Let's see. Hold on. Let me move. Let me present. Share screen. Window. All right. All right. So let me move this out the way too. All right. So reducing costs in your trucking business, and we're gonna run through this really fast so we can. Well, not really fast, but we're gonna run through it so I can get to the Q&A. All right. So reducing costs in your trucking business. Let me pull this up over here. Let me hide this. Give me a second, guys, while I get set up here. And let me pull that there. All right. Do me a favor as you come in. Do me a favor, hit that like button. Hit that like button if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel every Tuesday night. The Mentors Podcast with me, Mark the Mentor, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time every Tuesday night. And before we get into it, I know I talked about cargo vans. There's a lot of interest in cargo vans, probably because people can't get the box trucks right now. So this Sunday, we're going to do a how to scale a cargo van delivery business this Sunday, October 16th at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Please, if you are interested, since the poll was 73%, which was a landslide, as many people voted, 73%. That means a lot of people are interested in getting into the cargo van business. I'm thinking because they can't get into the box truck business because of everything that's going on. Do me a favor and make sure you're there Sunday night. All right, let's get into this. Let's get into this real quick. All right, know your costs. All right. So first thing people need to do in reducing their saving money, all right, lowering their costs in their box truck business is to know their costs. Know your cost per mile. I've seen people try to explain cost per mile. I've seen people explain it the wrong way, and I'm going to give it to you the right way, all right? I'm going to give it to you the right way, and I'm going to break it down and reducing. Well, I spell reducing wrong. I forgot the I. Reducing costs in your trucking business. All right, so boom, know your cost per mile. Cost per mile is a formula. It's a mathematical equation that's very simple. All right. Some people try to explain, they make it hard. Some people they try to explain, maybe they don't know. All right. It's a very simple formula. All right. You divide your total expenses by your total miles. All right. But here's the thing: there's two categories. All right. There's two categories. All right. There's two categories. All right. Let's talk about the first category. The first category is going to be your fixed cost. All right. Fixed costs. Fixed costs are expenses that do not change from month to month. All right. Regardless of how many miles you drive, how many loads you do. All right. So for example, I got here, you got your truck payment, right? Your rental costs, right? Your insurance, your ELD, which is like a subscription, right? Anything that you pay month to month and that rate doesn't fluctuate, Like your rental, you pay $1,500 a week. Your truck note, you may pay $1,000 a month. Those are fixed costs. You're going to have those same costs every single month. All right. Now, the next cost is your variable costs. All right. Variable costs are expenses that change each month based on how much you drive and how many loads you transport. For example, fuel that fluctuates, changes, right? Food, third party services, dispatchers, brokers, load boards, truck maintenance, and then miscellaneous costs. Those are variable costs, things that change from month to month. They're not the same. All right. All right, so now this is how you do the formula. All right. First, you come up with your total fixed cost. Your total fixed cost, and we're going to do an example, but you can always revert back to this video. All my podcasts, all my live streams, I post, and I'll probably do when I put out the course, it'll be available for download as well. My courses are very cheap. I don't charge people that much because I know how hard it is, so, just for something price just so you can get me for creating a course, whatever, for my time. Very cheap, probably $20, $29. So I'll make it available for download, but it'll be more extensive than this presentation. All right. So for example, let's say total fixed cost is going to be $5,000, right? $5,000. And you drive 10,000 miles. Let's say you drive 2,500 miles a week. That's 10,000 miles a month. And your total fixed cost for the month are 5,000. That means you're operating on a fixed cost per mile of 50 cents, right? Now, let's calculate your variable cost. All right, your total variable cost is 9,000. These are examples, guys. You can use this model, this formula, put your numbers in to get your cost. Your total variable cost is 9,000 for the month. Same 10,000 miles. The miles don't change. 10,000 miles is 10,000 miles. So you're going to divide your variable cost by that 10,000 miles. That gives you a variable cost per mile of 90 cents per mile. All right. All right. And then what you're going to do is you're going to add that fixed cost per mile. You're going to add that variable cost per mile. And that total number is going to get you your total cost per mile. All right. That's how you figure out how much it's costing you to operate your truck. All right. This is very important for you to know to help you reduce your costs. A lot of people don't know how much they're operating their truck for. You know what I'm saying? They don't know. So this is the formula. All right. That's the formula for you guys to know what you're operating your truck for. All right, let's get back into this presentation. All right, next thing, reduce fuel costs. All right, one, you can use apps to find the best fuel spots. All right, two, reduce speed, find that sweet spot. I know on my trucks it's like 65 miles, between 60 and 65 miles per hour on the highway. That's that sweet spot. All right. Every truck is going to be different. You know, that's why a lot of rental places they put governors on trucks. One, because they don't want you to kill yourself, but I think two, so to help prolong the life of the vehicle, and in turn, this can help save you money on fuel. All right, limit your idling. All right, when you're in a loading dock waiting to get loaded or waiting to get unloaded or what have you, turn your truck off. I know a lot of people like leaving their truck running. I don't know what for. Sometimes if it's the winter time and you're in one of these cities like up here in the Midwest or the East Coast and it's extremely cold and you want to leave your truck running, I get it sometimes, but like I feel a lot of people leave their truck running just because, and you burn like a gallon of gas an hour when you do that. So you know limit the idling. If you're not, the truck isn't really in use, then cut it off. Preventive maintenance. All right. There's a lot of things like air filters and things of that nature that, if you do your PMs when you're supposed to, somewhere between 6 and 7,500 miles, it can help in, uh, uh, reduce your fuel costs. All right. Um, Tire pressure. Make sure your tires are equally inflated. Look on the door to see what the tire pressure should be, and then check your tires and make sure they're all equal. A lot of people don't check their tires, or they'll go walk around the truck and kick the tires, the outer tires, but then they won't kick the inner tires in the back. And then the whole time, one of your inner tires is flat. So maintain good tire pressure. Plan routes ahead of time. Time is money. All right. You got guys, like I got guys that, they just know their way around, and that's good. And I used to be guilty of this too. And I had a guy tell me, that was working for me said, man, the reason why I put a GPS in just to even go somewhere short is because if something's happening up ahead, the GPS is going to let me know if even though I know where I'm going, I want to know where the GPS is going to send me. Let me be an accident or something on the expressway or car rolled over it, things of that nature. Every market is different. So time is money, especially like say if you're an owner operator and you got people out there on the road for you, you want to put systems in place that can kind of route them so that, if there is a situation where they're stuck in traffic, like here, we have expressway shootings, all type of stuff going on here. And if it's, God forbid, we have a bunch of them here. If something like that happens, the state troopers shut the expressway down because they're looking for shell casings. And it's like you can't move for hours. So you're just sitting there for hours. Most of the time they're at night, overnight, and you just see the state troopers, 50 state troopers just walk with flashlights running, looking down for shell cases, right? Because they got an investigation to do, and they can't let cars, once they get there, they can't let cars drive through that because that's going to tamper with the investigation. Tires going to kick shell cases and things out the way. All right. So a situation like that, if you use your GPS, you're coming, it's going to reroute you. You not understand, you may not know why is it sending me around the long way, but it's something because you see all red, and somewhere that typically would take you 15 minutes to get to, your GPS is saying it's taking you 2 hours. And then as an owner, you're going to have to pay that guy to sit there. So time is money. So plan routes ahead of time by using, encouraging yourself or your drivers to use apps, to use their or use their Apple Maps or their Google Maps, because time is money, and that'll help you reduce your costs. You don't want to spend unnecessary money. A lot of times I see people spend unnecessary money, and this will help you reduce it. All right, GPS fleet tracking. Here's something that I know is a lot of people don't utilize. All right, that I talk to. I do. I've had tracking from the first truck I bought, Fleetmatics. I need it. All right. And it costs you money, but it saves you thousands and thousands of dollars over time. And I can give you examples how um a good tracking subscription will help you save money. All right. One is going to reduce your fuel costs because if you get a good one like Fleetmatics, which is now owned by Verizon, they call it Reveal. If you get a good one, it monitors your driver's patterns, the behavior, harsh braking, idling. Anything that's negative, it's going to send you a report. It's going to give you that report, right? And then you can coach the driver on what to do to, prevent, your cost of fuel from going up. You want to reduce it. So you look at those reports and look, man, you're braking too harsh. You're idling up, man. You're going 70 and a 65, man. You're revving on the engine. You're going, I know as your speed jumped up to 75 and then it went back down to 65 and then 2 minutes, 30 seconds later and went back. Like the reports are that detailed. They're that detailed. So that's one way it can help you reduce costs. Tracking. All right. It's going to track. You need to know where your trucks are at. Guy telling you he's one place, he's at another place. And then you got a customer waiting. The customer's calling you, asking you where the truck is at. And you like, hold on, let me call the guy. No, we don't hold on, let me call the guy. Where's truck number 3 at? Pull it up. Blue, blue, blue. We see. Oh, okay. I got the customer on hold. I'm calling this dude asking why the hell are you at McDonald's when this you had a 2 o'clock appointment. I'm cursing this guy out or yelling or whatever I'm doing, reprimanding this guy while these people are on hold. You know what I'm saying? And then I know how to deal with that situation later to prevent that from happening again, so I don't lose a contract or lose an account in the future. All right. Vehicle maintenance and needs. A good fleet tracking system, it's going to have what we have with Fleetmatics. You can put in, so for each truck you can create a profile, and then with that profile you can input how often this truck needs maintenance. So me, it's 6,000 miles, so put 6,000 miles in, you put the VIN, you do the whole profile for the truck, whatever you call your truck. My trucks are numbered 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. Truck number 2, every 6,000 miles from this mile whenever we bought the truck, boom. All right. So when it gets closer to that miles, like 1,000 miles, it'll send you an email reminder. As it gets closer and closer and closer, it's going to keep sending you unless you reset it. And the way you reset it is by going in and inputting, hitting the button when they send you and be like, maintenance done, and then whatever mile you put in, then it's going to calculate that, and then now start adding for when they send you notification 6,000 miles down the line. This is a good reminder. Even though you may have systems and checks in place, it's always good to have something that's notifying you, because we can kind of get busy at times and things can kind of slip our mind, especially if you're running a fleet of trucks. All right. Geofencing. Now, if you don't know what geofencing is when you got a software, you can geofence a certain area. And this is what I do. Because see, you got slick people. All right. So what I do is this is a secret. I geofence the workers, like the drivers, their home address. I put a geofence around their address, right? Because see, if they try to sneak and go home or something, I'm gonna get an alert. And then I geofence like certain areas, certain boundaries, because the truck shouldn't go outside of these boundaries. If it's doing 5 miles, the truck shouldn't go outside these boundaries. But I use geofencing for people's homes, because you get a person that try to sneak home. Like if home is like along the route, or let's say it's 10 minutes outside the route, they feel like that's still close, but that's stealing from the company. You're stealing fuel from the company because you're on a route. Your job is to do the route, not go home and do whatever. All right. So I put the geofence around their home, and if you pull up at the crib, I'm gonna get an alert, and then I'm gonna call, man, why you at the crib? Why you at home? Man, you sitting there watching the GPS? No, I'm not watching the GPS. I'm not gonna tell them how I know. They think I'm sitting there just watching it. I'm not sitting there watching it. I got systems and checks in place to let me know these things. Because now you just stole time from the company, you stole fuel from the company because you're outside of your route. So geofencing, I love geofencing. That's what geofencing. I create a little geofence. Route optimization. This is another good one. So we don't use it no more, but if you get a good one, so when, like, for instance, when I was running Office Depot, right? 9 trucks. Now some of these trucks got anywhere from like 50 to 80 stops. And when you get to the place, all your stuff is on the dock, right in wherever dock you bag in, whatever dock door you bag in, they got all your pallets there. This stuff is out of order. It's not routed. You got 70, 80 stops, different addresses. So as you're loading the truck, you got to know how to route this stuff. It's not like some places where they already got it set up for you. No, man, they just got the stuff on the pallet. You got to route it. So what would happen was my drivers would get their routes, they get their paperwork, they fax their paperwork with all their stops back to the office, right? I have the operations manager, right? Once he gets the fax, he'll go through each route, look at the stops, he inputs the stops in. No specific order. So what you do is you'll start from where they're at. Their dynamics on Thorndale Road, and then what he'll do is he'll put our address to the yard at the end. So start in, and then in between, he just goes down the sheet. If it's 50 stops, he put 50 stops in for truck 1. Each address hits optimize. System optimizes the route. So from the start address, which is at dynamics, the closest stop, it's going to start routing. It's going to start putting those stops in order. Once it optimizes, he hits send. It goes to the truck, to the Garmin in the truck. And the only thing now, while he's loading the truck, when he gets in, his route is already optimized, so he doesn't have to figure out which stop is first and go through and then do route for me and all that stuff. All he do is hit go. It saves time and it cuts down on wasted fuel. Because if you got 50, 60 stops and you're on a race against the clock, and you looking at a paper and you got to figure out how to route this stuff on the go, you're going to waste gas, because you might miss a stop, or you didn't see a stop. Stop number 14 and stop number 20 may be right next door, but you glancing through and you missed it. Now you 3 miles away and you like, damn, I was just right there. Now it's wasted fuel. So this will help reduce fuel costs, in turn saving you money over time. And this is a good tool if you plan on running a fleet of trucks down the line, or you have a fleet of trucks. Now, that's route optimization. Integrated dash cam. Now, I don't have integrated dash cam, but the newer systems have integrated dash cam. I'm on an older system from 2014. I'm not gonna upgrade, because when you get these systems, you're paying a monthly subscription for the service, and then you're paying a monthly fee for the equipment until it's paid off. So basically, they charge you for the equipment, and then you're under a contract, let's say for a year. The reason why they put you on that contract is obviously because the equipment, you're paying off the equipment. Once the equipment is paid off, you pretty much can go a month to month for the subscription, and then if you choose to cancel it, you just cancel it. The equipment is yours. So I haven't upgraded, but now with the systems they have, when they come out and install, they have you can add it. You don't have to get it, but you can get the integrated dash cam. So now you can monitor the road ahead that the driver sees, and you can see inside the truck as well. All right. So I think that's good to have so you can keep an eye. Because I'll tell you, like sometimes these drivers, especially middle mile guys that got OTR guys on the road, I could tell you stories of when I ran OTR. And like you guys know, I'm a moving company, Final Mile, but we did OTR sometimes for some of these contracts. And then like for the moving, like I've had situations where I sent a guy to Arizona from Chicago. Right. So what we did was she hired my moving company to move. And instead of me sending 3 guys down there, we moved her here. We loaded her up. I sent one guy to run the stuff from Chicago to Arizona. And then what we did was I hired another company there to unload. It was cheaper for the lady because she was on a budget. I work with people. I'm fair. They tell me what their budget is because long distance moving. So I come up with a plan to do it as efficiently, but as inexpensive as I can. So it was just cheaper to just hire a company there and me send 3 of my guys for a 1.5 day, 2 day run. All right, well, 3 day run really. So come to find out, this guy done picked up a side. He's a married man. He don't work for me no more. He a married man. He done picked up his side piece and took her on the run with him. She doesn't work for the company, right? You don't work for my company, you don't get in my truck because every person is listed on my insurance. God forbid this guy falls asleep or she's doing some funny stuff while they on the road and he's not paying attention to the road because they doing some hanky panky and he swerves. Now she's in the truck. I'm like, wait, who? Why is she in my truck? And now, she's injured. The insurance is looking at me crazy, like, man, she's not listed on your policy, Mr. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Mark, why? And then now next thing you know, she's trying to sue me. So no, that's why the cameras are good now, especially for you guys middle mile, because people will try to have people on the truck with them and stuff like that, and that's not good for business because anything can happen. And I don't allow, if you don't work for the company, then you're not allowed on my truck. So that's why the integrated dash cam is good, and it's also good in case of an accident. You can present this stuff in the court if somebody tries to sue you or whatever. ELD, now you can integrate the ELD with the tracking, and it's in a bundle pack. So you're killing multiple birds with one fee. So you can integrate your ELD into that as well. Obviously, increase productivity. That's what I've been talking about this whole time. All this stuff is going to increase productivity because your drivers know they're monitored. They know that you're monitoring them. So all this stuff is very important. And then vehicle reports. Vehicle reports are important because I've had situations where, like during final mile, person gets a window, let's say noon to 4 window, truck gets to the stop at 1 o'clock. Ring the doorbell, no answer. Call 3-4 times, no answer. Bang on the door, no answer. Bang on the window, no answer. Call back, they're not answering. All right, sit there 15 minutes and then call back in 15 minutes, but keep trying, keep calling. But sit there 15 minutes. See, listen to me, guys. Sitting there 15 minutes, this is important. Sit there 15 minutes. All right, boom. Sit there 15 minutes, might sit there 20 minutes because they get to sitting on their phone looking at YouTube, lose track of time. Oh, dang, forgot. We call back to the office, call Mark. All right, Mark, still no answer. Corey is knocking on the door now. Still no answer. Still no answer. All right, we're finna call from the office. Boom, we call. No answer. All right, go to the next stop. Boom. An hour or two later, here comes nonstop delivery or whatever the contract. Yeah, yeah, you guys had a stop on a run. The customer saying that no one showed up. It's 4 o'clock or whatever the window is. Let's say they whatever. What do you mean? What's the stop? Customer Sally Sue, 123 Main Street. All right, one second. Well, that's truck number 5. Okay. Oh yeah, they were there at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. The customer's saying they've been there all day. 115 Main Street, right? Okay, yeah, well, yeah, they're 1 o'clock. Did they ring the doorbell? Yeah, they rang the doorbell. Did they knock on the door? Yeah, they knocked on the door. They called 15 times. We called here from the office. Well, the customer's saying, man, I don't give a damn what the customer's saying. Y'all gonna pay me for the attempt. Well, we can't pay you. Yes, you can, because the truck was there. Well, there's no way to determine. Yes, there is. Hold on. What's your email address? Download the report for that truck. It's gonna come in a CSV file. Send it. Boom. Did you get the report? All right, open it up. All right, you see, this is the truck that's running this route for you guys. All right, go to 1 o'clock. It's on page 5. See, it says 123 Main Street. See, it says idle time 22 minutes. The truck sat there at that address 22 minutes. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. You guys are, oh, no one's ever sent us this before. Yeah, okay. Well, I guess you guys were there. All right, yeah, make sure you, I want to see that on my next settlement. That's why vehicle reports, and that's why this is important. A lot of logistics company will try to find any way not to pay you, and a lot of them go with the customer because they believe the customer is always right. And in certain cases, in certain industries, the customer is always right, even when they're wrong. But in this industry, they're not always right. I don't go by that rule in this industry. All right, because the customer can tell you to take the refrigerator um up the flight of stairs and it won't fit, but just make it work. Make it work. Don't worry about the walls. And are they right? Because now you finna damage the refrigerator. Somebody might get hurt. And the refrigerator, the wall gonna get damaged. No, they're not right. No, we're not doing this, ma'am. You don't do this. We do this. It's not gonna fit. Call and complain, but we're not gonna do it because at the end of the day, the logistics company is gonna say, well, why did you do it? If you knew it wouldn't fit, why would you attempt it? So just don't do it. Worst case is going to happen is you're not going to get paid. Whoop-de-doo. I'd rather not get paid for the stop than get charged $4,000 for a refrigerator. All right. So that's why vehicle reports are important. And that's why I think a GPS tracking system is very important for your box truck, especially if you're running fleet and you're not on a truck. You need to monitor all that stuff. Do me a favor, hit the like button if you're just coming into the live stream. We're at the reducing your costs in the box truck business. Hold on, where are we at? In 1 second. If you're just coming in, we're talking about reducing. I spell reducing wrong, Mr. I, reducing costs in your trucking business. And the video will be up for replay. So if you're just coming in, you can watch the replay on what you missed. All right. So that's why I think getting the tracking will help reduce your costs, and it will reduce your cost. It has reduced my costs abundantly over the years. All right. Insurance. All right. Insurance costs. And this is a thing that I know a lot of people have been struggling with now too recently because of all the just everything is high entering into the game right now. Um, I talked to some guy earlier on Instagram. He was DMing me. He was telling me his car. I think they won like a $5,800 down. He was 23 years old. I'm like, whoa. So let's talk about insurance costs. Don't do it on your own. This is a problem that everybody does. They start their business. They're starting their business. They get to Googling some stuff on Google commercial insurance. They got the DOTMC. Now you're looking for insurance. They Google. Guess what comes up number first? Progressive. Why? It's the biggest company. They got millions of dollars in marketing dollars so that they can search engine optimization, which is SEO, their website. So when you do search it, they come up. That's what they want to come. They spend probably millions of dollars so they can come up number one. Because then they're going to get you with spend $1,800 a month for insurance. So they don't care about the $30 they just spent when you click on it because it was number one. All right. And a lot of people see Progressive and they go for Progressive because once they put everything in, they put everything Progressive, they make it easy for you. You're going to get your COI. Most commercial insurance companies, a lot of them, you can't get directly. You have to go through a broker. Progressive has it so you can just get it straight through them easy. All right. So don't do it on your own. Get a commercial broker. Get a commercial broker. It's like I always tell people, let the commercial broker shop you on the market. Let him put your company out on the market and see what comes back. You want to do this at least 60 to 90 days before you plan on starting because it takes time. All right, it takes time. Let him sit to put you out there on the market, see what comes back. Let him get a bunch of quotes in. Because now what he's doing, he's putting you on the market, and insurance companies are sending the broker the quotes, and then he can go through them and mix and match and say, look, we're going to go with this company for general liability. That's the best I got. We're going to go with this company for commercial auto. We're going to go with this company for cargo. You don't have to have the same company for everything. I got 3 different companies. I say this all the time. So for people that are here every week or watch the videos, they know there's new people. You don't have to have the same company. All right. That's why getting a broker is important. All right. And then once you get your insurance and you're running, have your broker shop you every year. Don't just continue to renew. God forbid, well, not God forbid. Let's say everything works well. You don't have any accidents. They have no reason to drop you or no reason not to renew you. Have your broker still shop you every year, 60 days prior, because you may still get a better rate. You may get a better rate. Another company may give you a better rate now because you've been out there for a year and you did good. So they may take a chance on you for a lower rate because now they're competing for your business. First year, they're scared, especially if you're young, you've never been in the business, especially with everything that's going on now. They're kind of scared. But after you've been in the business, you've been battle tested, now they're competing for your business. All right. So make sure your broker is shopping you every year, 60 days prior to renewal to get that better rate. I'm not loyal to nobody. I'm loyal for 12 months to who's ever giving me the best rate. All right. I will leave you in a heartbeat. If I've been with you for 2 years and you give me the best rate, and man, Don, see why they what's going on? They don't want to negotiate. We going somewhere else. I gotta save money everywhere I can. I'm not loyal to nobody. I'm only gonna be loyal to them for the 12 months. And then when it's time up for renewal, if they're not giving me the best rate, see you later. I gotta go. Gotta go somewhere else. All right. Make sure your drivers have good driving records. Just don't put anybody on your drive. Don't be thirsty. Don't be desperate because you get in the truck and you're gonna get so and so you thought was gonna work, but then when you run his NVR, he got a bunch of things on his NVR, and that's driving your cost up. So now, are you gonna put somebody with 2 speeding violation the past year? They got caught on a suspended license and all some of this stuff. No, you're just gonna have to pass on that person and wait till you find somebody with a clean driving record. All right, you don't want to put somebody on your your insurance with a bunch of stuff on their driving record is going to drive your insurance up. All right. Next, let's talk about preventive maintenance. This is something I think a lot of people struggle with as well. PM your trucks. PM your trucks. Set up a 6,000 to 7,500 miles. All right. Whatever your truck, I don't know. Different trucks are called for different time frames or whatever. I do mine 6,000 miles. All right. 6,000 miles. All right. Some of the newer trucks, you can go, I think, 10,000 miles. My trucks are older. So 6,000 miles. All right. Um, so keeping track of your truck's maintenance is crucial in reducing costs. I talked about that with the tracking system. You can, if you got like Fleet Manager or some telematics, you can put the info in and it'll send you reminders and notifications. So like when you take care of these small problems when they arise by just checking your trucks every day, they turn into big problems. You want to prevent some of these small problems early on and tackle them before they turn into big problems. All right. Especially as your trucks get older and they get more wear and tear. These are work trucks, guys. These are work trucks. They work horses. You beating these trucks up. I don't like a nice, pretty truck because a nice, pretty truck let me know the truck ain't working. I want to see some. If you in the Midwest, we got salt in the wintertime. I need to see salt covering the truck. I want to see the truck a little dirty. I don't like a clean truck. I want my truck to look like it's working because when it look like it's working, that means it's making some money. If it's trucks sitting up there real pretty and stuff, it ain't making no money. Now I ain't gonna lie. The first new truck I bought, I was keen on washing it and stuff like. But then I started caring, like, man, it's a truck. It's a work truck. Let it work. I don't care how pretty and clean it look. So man, yeah, take care of your trucks and your trucks will take care of you. Take care of your trucks and your trucks will take care of you. And that's something that I've lived by, and by the grace of God, I haven't had any issues. And like my trucks, like 05s and 06s, my trucks were 8 years old when I bought them, 8, 9. 9 years ago. All right, so take care of them, they're gonna take care of you. Um, oops. Oh no, I didn't. Did I skip one? No, I didn't. All right, coach and mentor. All right, so like how you guys reach out to different people for coaching and mentorship for this space, watching this live stream, do the same thing with your crew. The information that you learn, now you don't have to tell them everything, you don't got to tell them all your business, but if it's instrumental into um um them being successful and returns save you money and reduce costs, then you need to pass that information along to them. So setting a good example for your drivers. If you're a person who's running maybe 2 trucks or maybe 3 trucks and you're driving one of the trucks, set a good example as a driver. You can't preach something if you're not doing it yourself. You know what I'm saying? So set good examples, train them properly. Train them properly. Proper training will reduce a lot of mistakes, especially in final mile. And this is something that I train everybody that I mentor and I coach. I focus a lot and I stress training, especially with final mile, um, because that's how you're gonna reduce your claims. It's a lot of liability in final mile, and improper training or no training at all is very, it's detrimental. So proper training, motivating these guys every morning, you know what I'm saying, or every day, you know what I'm saying, training them, all right, setting goals for them, giving them something to work for, or work towards rather, you know what I'm saying. It helps build good morale, supporting them, answering the phone for them when they call. You know, it's a reason why you, the business owner, and they're the employee. So they're going to lean on to you for support and they're going to ask you questions. You can't blow them off. Even no question is a stupid, dumb question, especially if they're behind the wheel of the equipment you own. So stop what you're doing and answer these questions for them. Don't blow them off. All right. Support them, coach them. You know what I'm saying? Coach them. Coaching can prevent a lot of mistakes down the line. You see something they doing wrong, correct them. Don't let it just go out, talk to them later. No, coach them. Man, you know what? That was cool, but maybe you should do it this way. And explain to them why. Explain to them, doing it this way helps the company save money. And in turn, when it's time, when you come to me and you say, hey, I need some money, we'll have the extra money to give you. But if you keep doing this, it's costing the company more money. Then later on down the line, when you want to raise, the company ain't gonna have no money. The money that you're wasting, don't say it to them like this. I'm telling y'all, like, the money that you're wasting can ultimately be your raise later on down the line. Proper direction, give them proper direction. You know what I'm saying? Let them know it's the same thing as coaching. Coach them to success. Give them good advice. Even if you don't see them doing nothing wrong, you know what, today when you go out, you know what I'm saying, see if you can keep the speed at about 65. 65. I'm just trying to see something, and then in turns, if you can, keep it at 65, I'm gonna see how much gas we save, and I might have something for you down the line. If I can save X amount of dollars, maybe I'll look out for you somewhere down the line. Or you know what, maybe let me think of something real good. We'll get back to it because I gotta keep going. I had a brain freeze again because I got a bunch of stuff I'm thinking about. All right, so that's basically it. Coach and mentor. Make sure you coach these guys, mentor these guys, um, advise them well, motivate them. You know what I'm saying? Coach them, support them, train them well, and then all these things will help you reduce your cost in your trucking business. Obviously, there's a lot more. I can get really, 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 really intricate and detailed, but these are main things that I think everybody needs to know. Some of these things work for independent owner operators. Some of these things work for independent owner operators who have a fleet of trucks, multiple trucks with employees. So try to implement these things. I'll probably do a more detailed, intricate one and put it up on the website in a course form. And that'll be on the website www.boxtruckcourses.com. All right, so that's the presentation. Now we're gonna get into this Q&A. Q&A, 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 Q&A. Before we do that, hit that like button for me. If you enjoyed the presentation, if you learned something for it, if you whatever. I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Every Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. This Sunday, we're doing a how to scale a cargo van delivery business. This Sunday, October 16th at 7:30 p.m. Since there's a lot of interest in scaling a cargo van business, so if you have any interest in that, since I've been getting requested to do it a lot, make sure you guys come to that here on YouTube and Facebook Live this Sunday. Um, Other than that, let's get into this Q&A. I'm gonna start from the top because I see a lot of stuff here. I haven't even been looking at the chat because I've been presenting. I hope everybody's feeling good tonight. Appreciate people for sticking around. Let's see. Miss Wilson, I just looked at a Sprinter, $18,000, and that's with a salvage title. That's crazy. Yeah, it is crazy. All right, we got Tyler, Texas in the building. The people in public see them things. You are 100% see vandalism and robberies. Yeah, I haven't been looking at the comments, so I'm kind of lost in these side conversations. Q&A, guys. Q&A. Hit that like button for me, guys. Hit that like button. For y'all haven't hit the like button, that probably was a while ago. Mark, you're so raw and helpful. Thanks. Appreciate it, TM. Appreciate it. All right. Hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button. Appreciate it, TM. Let's see here. What do we got here? What up, Mark? Tony always moving. ATL. What's up, Tony, man? How you feeling? Game recognized game. We here for the game now in the future. Keep it going, bro. Appreciate that. People want to hear the good and exclude the negative. Yeah, well, you know what? You need negative. I want to know everything. Any business that I'm in or plan on getting to, I need to know every aspect of it. I want to know everything. I'm not one of those people, like, I don't sell people. I think a lot of people get hypnotized by the preaching and the positivity. A lot of people get you to buy into whatever they selling because they talk this positive. People get hypnotized. Look, this is a game where it's tricky. I need to know everything. I'm going to give you everything. I'm not going to sell you just the positive stuff, and then when the negative stuff happens, you're coming back to me. I don't want to see, and I'm not saying it's in a bad way. If I mentorship you, let's say you got a subscription and I mentor you. If you paying attention and I'm doing my job, once I mentor you and we feel like, you know, you got it, I should never talk to you again unless this man checking on how you doing, everything good, this and that. Boom. But some people only going to give you certain amount so that you can keep coming back to them. They don't spoon feed you. People mad at me for doing this. Man, you giving too much free game. You messing the money. I ain't messing nobody money up. Y'all messed the people money up by ripping people off last year. I ain't messing up. I'm just helping people, you know. And even with my courses and my mentorship is at a fair rate. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just here to help, you know. I give enough free information and enough just to do that presentation. That took time. I had to build out the PowerPoint, all that's time out of my day. You know, so I'm here to really truly help people. I've made my money in this game. The game has been very good to me. Very good. You know, so was nothing for me to help people out, and you know, and the courses I keep very affordable, and my mentorship is very affordable, you know. But yeah, I appreciate you for checking in, and you know, people got to hear the negative. They got to hear the negative so they can know to expect it. They got to know what to expect. Charlotte in the building. You are preaching tonight, bro. Charles, what's going on, man? Appreciate it. Shaking my head. Can I just say it, niggas? Yeah, you can say it. You can say it. I'm trying not to say bad words, and I be cussing on some of the live streams, but I say I gotta stop doing that. That's why I changed the intro, the rap intro, just to an instrumental. I'm trying to clean everything up because my audience is broad. And eventually, some company may say, hey, we might want to put an ad on the channel. So, I get this information for free. So if a company wants to come put an ad on the channel at a later date, then I want to make sure everything is clean for these advertisers. But you're free to say it. Sometimes it might slip and me say it. Is $1.47 operational cost would pay the driver decent overhead. Um, that depends. How much money are you making? That's just your cost. See that the example I did was cost per mile. That's what it's cost you run. I need to know what you're making in order to determine if that's decent or not. Mr. Dimitri, thank you so much for your honesty. Janelle, no problem, man. Gotta keep it funky. Gots to keep it funky. Somebody gotta keep it real and honest. And not sell dreams and just tell people what it is. If me telling you what it is gonna hurt you, that means you probably not should be in business. If I'm telling you something that's honest, that's not malicious, that's business advice. Let's say you're doing something, or I'm preaching from or speaking from a point, and you feel like I'm being negative, you guilty then. Instead of taking the constructive criticism from someone who has been doing this for 13 years and maybe trying it or implementing it to see if it works, you get mad. I look at everything. And when I put that video out, look, YouTube is very detailed with the analytics. Like, I know if how many people subscribe from a video. I know if a person unsubscribes from a video, and that video had some unsubscribers, and I knew it would, because I knew it would rub some people the wrong way. It was people in the comments like, man, you hurt some feelings today, but forget them. But they said F them, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't intended to hurt feelings. It was really intended to wake people up. Like, this ain't a get rich quick game. You know what I'm saying? It's just not. You know what I'm saying? And people watching these videos selling them hopes and selling them dreams, even in this economy. Last year, it might have been somewhat believable because of the high rates, you know what I'm saying? But even in this economy, I got more people coming to me telling me they fell and help them figure it out than I got people coming to me. I got a few people that are doing good. Most people that come, they need strategy to get them out of a jam. I have a few people that come to me that are profiting, that want strategy to scale. Like, I want to coach people that are failing into coaching sessions where we're strategizing. All right. Because basically we're just sitting there and we're brainstorming. I had a great session with one of my monthly subscribers, and we just talked. He tells me his ideas, and I said, well, maybe we should do it like that. He's like, I was thinking that, but I wasn't sure. But I didn't even tell you that's what I was thinking. But now, since you said it, he had a plan. He wanted to switch to another lane, scale. I'm not going to say his name, scale to another lane, but he's doing great in the lane he's in. So I'm like, maybe you should but I let him present what he wanted. We strategized, but then before the session, I said, I think you should scale in the lane that you're in. He said, man, you know what? I thought about it, but I'm like, yeah, you're doing good here. Why go take the chance there, put somebody over there, and they could possibly screw up what you're doing good at while you're over here trying to build that, when you figured this out already. Those are the mentorship. I do them all, but I try to get everybody to the point where they're doing good and we're just strategizing on how to go to the next level. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm going to keep it honest because I want to see people win. I want to see people win. Um, because I mean, like I said, I've done very well. You know what I'm saying? I had my ups and downs. And if I can prevent you from making some of the mistakes that I made, because YouTube wasn't like how it is now. I didn't have a mentor. I had to learn the hard way by taking L's. If I could invest into my time into going on YouTube and finding a good mentor who's providing enough free information, and take time out to listen and learn from that. And then if I want to do a coaching session because I have plans on scaling, I want to speak to someone who's done it before and get their strategy, who speaks very well and sounds, and I could tell knows what the heck they talking about, then yeah, I'll invest in that so that I can kind of curve the learning curve. Instead of me investing into the losses of the learning curve, I can invest into the mentorship, you know what I'm saying, to reduce the learning curve and in turn make more money. So yeah, you gotta be honest. I'm lost. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. Oh, you talking about 9 trucks? Yeah, I was running 9 trucks for Office Depot through Dynamics, but not more. That's why so now 13 years or longer in the business and 9 trucks running at one time. Yeah, actually, my height was 15 trucks. I was running 9 just for Office Depot. I was running 15 trucks at my height. I was running at this time when I was running 9. I was running 9 for Office Depot. I was running 3 for IKEA, and then the other 3 were moving trucks, and then I had some trucks running Select Express, like some ancillary trucks running um, Select Express. So it's actually running more, but I only say 15 because I really don't include my moving side when I do my videos, and actually people are requesting more moving videos. So I'm gonna start talking about the moving too on the channel a little bit more. But that was my peak, yeah. So I definitely had my ups and downs. I definitely know the game. Um, yeah. People are not talking about that making it seem. People are not talking about that making it seem so easy. Yeah. It's not easy. I can tell you that now. It's not easy now. I know the game mentally. You know what I'm struggling with right now? Employment. It's a tricky game. Tricky game. Don't nobody want to work. It ain't easy no more finding people. You know what I'm saying? So I know all the everything about the game. I know it ain't nothing. Now it's getting people to work. And that's something I can't can, you know what I'm saying? So tricky, you know. Tricky, 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 tricky. You'll definitely come out here and get eaten alive if you can't adjust. Definitely will. Accidents too, get that non-renewal letter. Yep. What did you guys pay for your first box truck? 7,900 for mine. My first box truck was 7,900. Any question? Q&A, Q&A, Q&A. Let me know. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. What state are you in? I'm in Illinois, Chicago. Marcus the man. Appreciate VNC Logistics. Thanks for checking in. Currently in Massachusetts, just dropped at OWD9 from NYC. You doing Amazon Relay? All right. I refuse to pay these high ass rental prices. Still can't find a good box truck. I know you said don't go over 40 grand. Should I do the cargo van gig until I find a truck, or don't waste the money in on a van? Here's what I always give a disclaimer. You know, to each his own. The way I was able to see success in the box truck game, you may see success differently. I'm not paying over 40 grand for a box truck because I know it's going to eat away at my profit margin. I don't want a big high truck note. Margins are very small. All right. These trucks can stand the test of time. I said it last week. I've never had a powertrain issue with none of my older trucks to this day. To this day, remember 05 and 06s now. In 2014, I bought 2 new ones. Right. One of them I traded out because we didn't have a use for it no more, and I actually traded it for a company pickup truck. And then the other one I bought brand new. These are brand new trucks. The transmission went out at 80,000 miles on a new truck. Now, mind you, I got used trucks that were purchased with 200,000 miles, 179, 180, 200,000 miles. Then, and still to this day, I haven't had a powertrain issue. The new truck I bought, 80,000 miles, out of there. Tricky game. So I've seen success in multiple used trucks. I take my mechanic, he looks at it, he gives me the thumbs up, we buy them. I just don't go look at one truck. I'll go to a place where they got a bunch of trucks. And then I spend my Saturday there. We go through, if I got to test drive 15, 20 trucks, then that's what we're going to do. And I'm driving an hour and 45 minutes outside of Chicago to a suburb outside of Chicago to this truck dealership. And that's what we got to do. All right. Me personally, no. Right now, I'm looking for a box truck. Me, 20 to 40, 40 on the high end, because 40, I know I'm gonna have to pay a note just getting in. All right. I'm looking more 26 for, I'm looking 20, 30. That might scare some people. Man, I'm scared, man. I don't want the truck. But man, I understand maintenance is a part of the game. I know how much money I'm saving every month with that $25,000 truck versus me renting. I'm gonna pay $25,000 in 4 months at these rates renting the damn truck. But look how much money I'm saving before I have a breakdown. That fear that people may have in these older trucks with these mounts, I don't have that fear. One, yeah, because I've done it and I've taken chances in older trucks at a lot cheaper rate back then. But even now, I don't have that fear because truck maintenance is a part of the game. The biggest crock of BS that some of these influencers I see selling on Instagram is rent a truck. You don't have to pay the maintenance. Who says you don't have to pay the maintenance? You think when you paying $1,500 a month, a week rather, for a rental truck, you think you're not paying the maintenance on the truck? So they're just giving you a truck and just charging you, and they're paying for the maintenance. No, that $1,500 is paying for everything. If they're paying a note, you're paying the note, you're paying the maintenance, you're paying the rental account managers base fee before commission, you paying some of the people that work in the shop, you paying everything. They don't pay anything for those trucks. The customers pay for those trucks. 100%. Everything. Now, you want to talk about the margins in truck rental business? Astounding. Astounding. Why? Because they're not, you paying for it. You paying for the whole everything. You're paying for it. So, my and I know this is a long-winded answer, but I just kind of want you to understand, I don't blame you. And me personally, I'm not scared to buy a $25,000 26 footer. That's maybe a '07 or '08 with 250,000 miles on it. If my mechanic said that powertrain, that engine is good, I don't care what else happens. We're just gonna have to get it fixed because it's a part of the game. It's gonna break down anyway. New truck, old truck. So, now let me answer the second part, the cargo van. I think what you should do, I'm gonna put together this presentation Sunday, um, for the cargo van business. So since you said, let me do my shameless plug right now. This Sunday, I'm doing a live stream on how to scale a cargo van delivery business this Sunday here on YouTube and Facebook at 7:30 p.m. All right. Now, I think you should come Sunday and listen to this presentation that I'm going to put on as far as the cargo van business. And then Tuesday, come back here and then revisit it, or just think and then revisit it. You may see, you may see you may be able to find a lane for yourself in the cargo van business until all this box truck and stuff clears up. But first, come Sunday, listen to what I have to say, and then make that decision. Like I said, I don't blame you for not paying these truck rentals. I'm not paying them either. I wouldn't pay them either. You know what I'm saying? Buying a truck is probably the better way to go with the truck rates going down now. And I wouldn't be scared to buy an older truck with 250,000 miles on it. As long as you take a mechanic. So I know that's my long-winded answer. But yeah, come Sunday and we'll go from there. Let's see. Is that an app? Was what an app, Janelle? I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention through the whole presentation from the news and to the presentation. I did not look at the chat, because if I start looking at the chat, I get distracted. So I wanted to put on the show, and then I'm getting up there in age, man. I'll be losing my train of thought sometimes. I'll be having brain farts and shit. So I'm trying to stay focused. This is some real box truck sauce. Michael Henry, thank you, man. I appreciate you for checking it out. AJ King, this GPS tracking has this. I yeah, I don't know what obviously I probably was talking about GPS tracking, but I don't know. Reiterate your question probably for me now and be a little bit more detailed so I can answer it. I wasn't following the chat. Yeah, it's just the best ever. I researched many. None of them are as informative. I appreciate it. I try to be as informative as possible. And I take really, you know, as the channel evolves, you know, I put more time, I put money into the channel, and I'm not, you know, I'm not making no money from this, but we want to, you know, I have people in place now, building stuff out, editing, you know, things of that nature. So we're pumping some money into this thing. We're trying to make it good and informative. We want to be the number one source where people come. It's starting to turn into a business, and and we're gonna continue to make sure that you guys get the best information. I'm vested in to making sure you guys got my Tuesday night. I've been here every Tuesday night. I don't care what's going on. I don't care. You call me, I'm saying no because I've invested into this. So I'm gonna continue to provide. We're gonna continue to provide the best information. All right. I appreciate you, Janelle, for checking us out. Hit that like button too when you guys coming in. Like I'm not checking up with the likes. Matter of fact, let's see. Let's see here. Let's see how many likes we got. It's a slow night. Usually the room be about mm, about 60 people, about 40 people we average in a night. Maybe it's a game or something. All right, hit that like button for me, guys. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button for your boy. Let me see. All right, Grand Rapids, Michigan, in the building. What's up, Steve? Reminds me of the dude that fell asleep in the semi. Dina, what's going on? Chicago in the building. What would be the best trucker's GPS to purchase? Um, The only thing I can tell you is what we use. I haven't since I've been buying my first truck. We had Fleetmatics, and now it's Reveal, Verizon bought them. So I don't recommend any other one because I've never used any other one. But Fleetmatics at that time was number one, top, and it still is. So, which is now Verizon Reveal. Telematics was first, and then Fleetmatics bought Telematics, and then Verizon bought Fleetmatics. So it's called Verizon Reveal. That's what it's called now. Janelle, thank you for checking in. Q&A session, guys. Send me those questions. Send me those questions. It's been a good show. I appreciate you guys for coming in every Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. The Mentors Podcast with me, Mark, the Mentor, where we talk box trucking. We get sauce out, and we bounce things off of each other, and we try to set people up for success so they can make money out here in this box trucking game. All right, I need to what I'm getting into. I appreciate that. Real, can you lose out if you go in blind? You definitely can lose out if you win going blind. You definitely can. Crystal Lake, Illinois, still haven't found a rental yet. If you know anywhere around decent, cost would be very much appreciated. Hey Ray, it's funny. If you have some money to invest and you want to buy a truck, actually the place I get all my used trucks, I haven't bought them in years because I built my fleet years ago. But the place that I bought all my used trucks is in Crystal Lake. It's called Signature Auto Group, Crystal Lake, Illinois. You probably heard of it. You're out there in Crystal Lake. I would go there if you're seriously investing to get into this game. Go go there to Signature, and the owner's name is Brent. I haven't talked to him in years, but I bought a bunch of trucks there in 2013, 2014, and it's out there your way. Go see what they have. They do financing. Um, go see what they have. And I think they do. I know last time I talked to him, which was years ago, he was talking about renting trucks. I don't know if he started that, but that may be good for you if he does because you're right there. So that's some sauce for you, Ray Perry. You get some extra free sauce, some more knowledgeable sauce because you in my market. So there you go. Janelle, Enterprise in Atlanta gave me a price of $450 a week for a rental for a Sprinter van, 18 cents a mile with 250 free miles. That's high. That's high. That's high. That's high. That's high. That's high. $450 a week when we were renting trucks. That's what we were paying for a 26 footer. $450 a week, 10 to 15 cent a mile, 1,000 free miles. That's the rate that I was paying for 26 footers. 450 a week for a van is high. But I'm gonna do this thing Sunday. I'm gonna look to see what vans are going for now. That's something I gotta look into before I do this presentation Sunday about scaling. I need to see what the vans are going for now. Deep but good info. Thanks, Mark. Steve Brown, what's going on? You are blessed. Giving knives will keep you blessed. Janelle, I appreciate it. Do you have drivers in Atlanta or looking for workers in Atlanta? No. I tried to scale maybe 3 or 4 years ago in Dallas because I had a bunch of family that moved from Chicago to Dallas, and one of my cousins was working for a guy doing final mile delivery down there, and I reached out to some of my contracts up here, like Select, and said, "Look, I'm thinking about scaling in Dallas." I went down there and looked at the market and things of that nature. I spent a week down there and met with some people and things. And I just didn't, I just didn't go through with it. I don't know my cousin; he don't know I do this, but I just didn't. I ended up not scaling because I knew I wouldn't be able to manage it from up here, and the people that I had down there, family, they just wouldn't have been as thorough and as shrewd of a businessman as me. So I didn't put myself in that situation. But no, I haven't scaled outside of this market. That was the only time when I was thinking about scaling to Dallas, and I didn't do it. Touch on how to get good helpers with the final mile, having a problem finding people, bro. Derek, you in Milwaukee, right? I think you came on the live stream when I was first starting, maybe a couple months ago, if I'm not mistaken, right? You was doing pilot. Maybe that was somebody else, but that was just like what I was saying a few minutes ago. Like, my issue is finding people, especially for moving and final mile, because it's very labor intensive. So, when I tell people this, is not to like scare them out the game, but it's true. And I say this over and over, but I have to keep reiterating myself because the subscribers are going up, going up, going up, and every week is new people. So pardon me, people that come every week, they hear me say some of this stuff over and over again, but just keep in mind there's new people that come in every week. There's just so many opportunities out here. So with final mile and even with my moving business, let's say $200 a day, right? Let's say 250, 300. I know people making $200 to $300 a day doing Instacart. So if a person thinks about it, would you rather go to the store, pick up some groceries, and drop them off on a person's front step, or carry sofas and refrigerators up 2 and 3 flights of stairs all day? Obviously, the person is going to take the less labor intensive work for the same amount of pay. And that's one thing that's going on. That's one thing that has happened to me over time. The introduction of the gig economy. There was no gig economy in 2010 when I started, or 2011, or 2012, or 2013. It was in the beta stages, right? They were coming up, sourcing the funding, dealing with VCs and Series A and Series B funding to come up with what we now know is Uber, and what we now know is Lyft, and what we now know is DoorDash, and what we now know is Instacart. Yeah, these things were in the early stages of sourcing funding back then, but they weren't in operation. So when they started coming in operation, and now we're just to the point where they're just off to the races. So if a person don't feel like coming to work for Mark to do a 10-hour move, that doesn't mean they're not working. They just don't want to do backbreaking work. They gonna call off, and then they gonna go do Instacart and still make their $200 or they $300, or they gonna go do whatever, Amazon Flex or Uber, Lyft. I don't know. They doing a lot of this stuff. So that's the issue, and that's where our data has shown us why we're having a hard time, because it's just not us, it's just not you, it's everybody that's in a labor intensive business. And we were going to get to the point that we're at right now with the scarcity of employment in certain industries. It was going to get to this point. What the pandemic did was put it on steroids and speed the process up, because when everything shut down, everybody flocked to the gig economy. All right. And now it's just, once people get a taste of, delivering for Instacart, and they see, man, that the earning potential is even if it's not quite the same, even if they're off 50 or 40, $50, it's still easier and better than carrying this heavy ass furniture all day. So, to everybody that's looking to get into the final mile game or the moving business, that's definitely going to be a challenge that you're going to be faced with is employment. There's a lot of opportunities, and it's hard, backbreaking, labor intensive work. I have had to get back out on the trucks intermittently, when it's called upon. I haven't been on a truck since 2012, 2013. And then the pandemic hits 2021. I got to start getting back in and out of trucks. I'm 42 years old now. My back hurts. I did a move a month ago on a Saturday. It was a call off. It was two call offs. So not only on this one route was it two call offs, I had to fill in, so we were still short a man. It was a 3-man route on a move for a moving truck route. They had a move. It's 3 guys. 2 of the guys called off, so I had to fill in, and that means we were still short a guy, right? This guy was on the 3rd floor. I told the story last week. I tweaked my back. My back still hurt. I had been to the doctor. They got me on Flexeril and cyclochlorobenzephrine or whatever the pain stuff. All right, I exhausted the cyclochlorobenzephrine or whatever it is. I'm not going to get back on that because you know how that medicine gets. I'm just suffering through the back pain. I'm an avid gym person. I go to the gym every day. I hate missing the gym. You know what I'm saying? One, because of the type of work I've had to get back into. I have to, if I go out on a moving truck all day, I'm sweating and burning all my muscle. So then I got to get off the moving truck and then go do 2 hours in the gym to build a muscle back up. With a bad, my back hurting, so I'm fighting through pain. You know what I'm saying? It's labor intensive. I'm at the point now where, and I know this is a long-winded answer, but I don't want you to feel bad about finding people. We all going through it. And that's why I'm saying I'm very honest. I'm not gonna sit up here and tell you, even though I made a shit ton of money in 13 years with moving and final mile delivery, we're struggling right now due to employment. Honest. I'm not gonna sell you. I can tell you the industry, tell you business. I'm gonna tell you when we not doing good. So it's gonna be hard to find people, especially if you're in a big market. Small market where it's less opportunity, because there's less opportunity, it may be plenty. People may be more plentiful. All right. In this market or bigger markets, it's too much opportunity. Even though we doing it through the economy that we in, essentials are up. Essentials are up. So people are still grocery shopping. People are still buying essentials. They may just not be buying everything else. So people that are doing Instacart or Amazon Fresh Delivery, Instacart grocery delivery, and all these delivery apps, they're winning because essentials are up. So, employment, don't feel bad, man. Just keep trying. I can't give you any uh, how to get good helpers. If you're having an issue getting good helpers, and that's one thing. If you have a situation on getting helpers at all, then that's basically what I'm talking about. Now, good helpers, if you're coming across people and they're just not good, then you probably need to put an ad up and check experience, and then might need to go. I hate to say this, and I wouldn't have said this 7-8 years ago, but the times we living in, you might have to start going out and recruiting. Sometimes you got to do some things you might not want to do to get by. So if it's where you at, anything like Chicago, and don't listen, guys, don't get offended. This is real. The Home Depot, some gas stations, and some U-Hauls where some people out work for hire. Now, just don't throw them on the truck now. You gotta send them through the same process you send anybody else through, because you don't want to send people home you don't know. You can go start recruiting there. Look, I got a moving company, I got a final mile delivery business. I see y'all out here every day, muscle for hire, muscle for hire. How long you been doing this? Blah blah blah. Give them an interview on the spot. If they willing to give you their personal information, their social security, all that stuff, do their background. You might have to start cleaning some of these muscle for hire people up, because people ain't responding off the Indeeds and stuff. They just not. Once you tell them what the job entails, they just don't want to do it. So I know this was a long-winded answer, but I wanted to give you it from my scope so that you know you're not the only one out here going through that. And anybody else that's looking to get into the move in front of my business, employment is an issue because of the labor-intensive work. It's just easier ways. So keep that in mind. That employment may be a factor, may be hard. So keep that in mind. Looking for a trucker's GPS. Which one do you suggest? I use Fleetmatics. That's gonna give you your ELD and everything. That's the only one we use. So that's the only one I can recommend. Yeah, Derek, you in Milwaukee. I talked to you before. Yeah, so yeah. I thought you stopped doing final mile because you was with Pallet, and I thought you was doing partials OTR. Derek got Doc's appointment on Thursday, so Amazon relay for today and tomorrow. I'm OTR 99% of the time. Gotta make the wheels turn though. 10-4. Hit that like button, guys, as you come into the room. Hit that like button if you're enjoying the content. If you enjoyed the presentation earlier this stream, hit the like button. Hit that subscribe button too if you just peeking in and you want more content like that. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you can get those notifications, and hit that notification bell too every Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time Mentors Podcast with me, Mark the Mentor, here on YouTube and Facebook Live. All right. I don't know if this question for me. Do I ever get stuck? Amazon really, can you do it with the Sprinter vans? No. Can't do Amazon really with Sprinter vans. The Sprinter vans, the vans is for the DSP side, and that's a contract position on the final mile side with Amazon. The Happy Channel, what's going on? Uh, I, Fleetmatics, Verizon Reveal, check them out. That's the only one I can recommend you because that's the only one we've been using for the past 9 years now. Appreciate it. We'll lock in on Sunday. All right, see you Sunday. All righty. Let me put this here. Hey, what's good, bro? Do you feel Penske is the way to go when you're buying your first box truck? Um, as far as fleet maintained trucks between the big four, Penske, Ryder, Enterprise, and Budget and Penske are going to be your two least and two least expensive. All right. The reason why I use Penske is because of that. If I use Penske when I show my screen and I do examples and things like that, I always go to Penske because they're cheaper than Ryder and Enterprise. Budget auctions all their trucks. All right. So that's why, Budget is going to be cheap, but they don't have a used truck sale site because they auction all their trucks. So I think, yeah, you can go Penske because they're going to be one of the two most inexpensive compared to the other two. And then they have the trucks on different levels, level 1, level 2, and level 3, where you could determine if it meets DOT or exceeds DOT, or if they don't expect it at all. So yeah, I trust Penske. All my used trucks are budget trucks. All my used trucks are budget trucks. So yeah, Penske and Budget would be the two ones I would go to. Emperor. Q&A session, guys. Q&A time. Hit that like button for me and put your questions in the chat. I'm going down the line. If you want to jump the line, then you can always do a super chat. Not required, not asking you for no money, but if you're impatient and you want me to get to your question first, VIP status, then hit the super chat. And for that donation, I will stop what I'm doing and answer your question. All right. But it's not required though. You just gotta wait in line. All right. Let me here. Jamel Wicker Sr. Anything other than last mile that will have you home every night. I've been doing last mile a few years, been thinking about other options. Amazon Relay. Other than that, you start a moving company. But moving is going to be similar to Final Mile, just harder. But you're going to make a shit ton more money, though. You'll make a hell of a lot more money. So, um, I mean, if you're running middle mile low, boy, you can find little local runs, but you know you're not going to get paid like if you're running OTR. Um, but pretty much that's about it, man. That's about it. Hit that like button as you guys come into the room. If you're enjoying the content, if you like the presentation earlier, I really appreciate it if you hit the like button. Also, hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to the channel. This is what we do every Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. We're here. We talk trucking. We talk trucking. This is a small community of people that's in box trucking that we share information. I present. I give my advice from my years of experience, and we just sit here and we talk box trucking. And if there's something that you enjoy, then hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Every Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, here and on Facebook Live. All right, let me see. Yeah, that's high. Maybe the trucks in high demand this year. Trucks have been in high demand since the pandemic. The rates are actually going down, and trucks are actually sitting. They'll probably even crash further down. I say January. I think January is when they're gonna really like plummet. What's the best Amazon to apply for? How do you get started with Amazon? If you want to do Amazon Relay, if you got a box truck, just go to Amazon Relay website. Just Google Amazon Relay. I think it's AmazonRelay.com, if I'm not mistaken. Hammer app is a free trucker GPS app you can use. It's reliable. Mario, my man Mario, one of my mentees, doing very, very good with Amazon Relay, doing really well with Amazon Relay. I think he told me in one of my comments in the video, he took my advice and he's operating. He's not operating in his home market. I think I did a video maybe a few months ago when I said, maybe you got to step outside the box and go a state over, and that's what he's doing. And it's hard work. He works very hard, but that's how he's able to make the money he makes in Amazon. And let me just touch on that real quick, guys. Um, I know a lot of people are struggling with Amazon, but there's still some markets that are doing good. And you're in a truck, you got to go to where the money is at. You can't be complacent. You got to step outside your comfort zone. This is the industry you want to get in. The industry fluctuate, volume. All right. So if you're a state over and your state isn't doing good and the state over is doing volume, then you got to go a state over. And that's what he did. He said, well, I took your advice. I want to stay. He's making money. He's making money. So some of you guys got to go a state over, maybe two states over. You got to do what you got to do to make the money. If you don't want to do final mile and lift that heavy stuff, then guess what? You got to take your truck where the money is at if you run a middle mile. Final mile, you can make money in your home market. You're just going to do a lot of heavy lifting. Middle mile, you got to move around. So it's give and take. It's pros and cons on both. And then if you want to go to the other route, I can show you how to make your margins huge with a moving company. But guess what? You're going to work harder than you would work on final mile. So it's give and take. But the money is there, even in a tough economy. You just got to work harder. And working harder may just, man, I got to go over a state for 5 days and then come back home on the weekend. You got to do what you got to do, guys. Hey, Mario, thanks for checking in, though. Keep up the good work. Was doing 4 there and had to stop that because the volume wasn't there. Then jumped OTR mixed with Amazon, but been researching Final Mile. Right. I thought maybe this was somebody else I was talking about that was doing pilot out of Milwaukee. I thought maybe that was you, but maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But you were doing 4 there and had to stop that because the volume wasn't there, then jump. If you're in Milwaukee, why don't you try to pick up a final mile route in Chicago? It's only an hour and 20 minutes away. I mean, you and see what you can get here. What do you think about Richie Bros, etc. for a box truck? That's an auction place. I haven't, I don't know. I've never bought a truck at auction. All my budget trucks I buy from a dealer who buys them at the budget auction. But Richie Bros, I know that's an auction. I think if you if you want to go the auction route, then I say go for it. Just be very careful because you're buying on virtual auction. You're looking at the specs from online. You're not there to physically look and lift up that hood. You're looking at pictures and videos. So to answer that question, I think Richie Bros is just like tack and just like any other, is the luck of the draw. You know what I'm saying? It's the luck of the draw. Just do research, look at those pictures really, really well, and read everything and keep your fingers crossed, when you're buying on those online auctions. Doing Amazon today, solid $10,000 a day. Man, go get that money, Mario. Go get it. Q&A session, guys. Hit your questions in the chat. Hit your questions in the chat. Questions in the chat. Questions in the chat. And I'm going down the line. Questions in the chat. I'm going down the line. Thanks, bro. I appreciate you asking my question. Get you, man, answering your question. Yep, yeah. Answering, no problem. I'm in Ohio trying to get it popping local. I got a lot of mentees in Ohio. I got a lot of mentees. And I got a lot of mentees in Virginia. Georgia, Virginia, and Ohio are like my top 3 states for mentees. Trying to get popping local what? Middle mile or final mile? Hit that like button as you guys come into the room. Hit that like button. Hey guys, I want to answer Tony's question. But I need to one second. I'm going to answer Tony's question. But let me take a quick 2-minute intermission. Sit tight, guys. I'll be right back. I need to get some water and use the washroom. I'll be back in about 2 minutes, guys. I'm back. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Had to get some water. All right. Use the bathroom. All right, where I leave off, Tony. What are the best box truck load boards? Struggling with this because I only see semis once I go online. Select this DAT. You're probably not searching right. If you want, I can show you how to search on DAT real quick. Hold on, let me see if give me a second, guys. Wait 1 second. Let me show you real quick something. Oh man, where is it at? Oh, 1 second, we log into this real quick. What load board are you using? Are you using a load board? Right, let me share my screen real quick. All right, so Tony, I'm gonna show you how to search the load board so you can see semi trucks. I'm gonna share my screen real quick with you, real quick. And this is just for training purposes, real quick. Give me 1 second. Share screen. Excuse me. All right, let me move this out the way. I'm gonna leave your question up there so people know why I'm doing this, so they know. All right, so 1 second, settings, audio, check. Just gotta check my mic. All right, so it's late, so it ain't gonna be too much on the load board. Most of the freight gets put out early in the morning. So it's late. Let's see where some loads at. All right, so quick game. There's going to be a few states is always going to be heavy outbound. All right, Midwest is always going to be heavy outbound. All right, so Midwest is a trucker's paradise for freight. All right, California is usually heavy because of the ports. It's late. They're light. My home state looks like we're always heavy in Illinois. So it's 919 outbound loads at 9:53 Central Standard Time, and we got everybody else beat by far. Ohio is heavy. Oh nope, Texas is heavy still. These are heavy numbers right now for this time of the night. But let's look. Let's look at my state just for. I'm just going to show you how to find. Man, I'm tripping. Yeah, I know it's getting late for me. I'm on my alphabet. All right, so we're gonna click outbound because you're looking for outbound freight. All right, you're gonna go to edit. You're gonna go to specific. You're gonna go over here. You're gonna scroll down. And you can watch the replay for this if I'm doing it real quick. You're gonna hit straight box truck. You're gonna hit search. This is DAT. This is how you find stuff. It's not. This is how you find box truck stuff. Since you said you're having a hard time finding it. All right, so let me make sure you're still there. Yeah, you're still there. All right, so boom. So now I went straight box truck. So you see this SB, that's the code for straight box truck, length 26 footer. Then here's your weight because you gotta know your weight. You don't want to run overweight. All right, and then obviously your rates over here. When you click it, you'll see any notes that they leave over there, the number to call. You see here if they're factoring, obviously the trip, and then when you click on the trip, it'll open up a map. And that's how you find box truck loads. All right, and partials. Obviously, a partial would be something that's less than 26 feet. This is 23 feet. It's considered a partial, but it's still filling up most of your trucks. You're not gonna probably find something 3 feet. So pretty much all these are full loads. I'm not really gonna go through. Here's a 16 footer. Let's say somebody was running 16-foot truck. It's 12,000 pounds though, so that kills that for a 16 footer. They'll be overweight. And these are 53 footers. Right. So that's how you find it. All right. That's how you find box truck loads on the load board. And this is pin £10 Chicago to Denver. That's why nobody like to go through them doggone mountains. All right, 25. Hold on. All right, so that's how you that's how you look for stuff on the load board with a box truck. Since you said you were struggling with this because you only see semis. You're gonna always see more semis, but you got to put those variables in to pull up the box truck. You got to know the codes. All right, let me go back to the Q&A session, guys. Q&A session. So put your questions in the chat, and I'll get to them. Mentors podcast with me, Mark the Mentor, every Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, here on YouTube and Facebook. I don't want to put all my eggs in the Amazon relay basket. Any tips on finding a good dispatcher? I say use a load board and dispatch yourself. I mean, the thing with dispatchers, I don't, unless they pay for advertising on him, we don't market them because I don't want to, I don't deal with dispatchers. So, but if you want to save that money, you can always dispatch yourself by getting a subscription with a load board and finding your own loads. Now, if you plan on just being out there hard and you just want somebody finding the stuff for you, then the only company we dealt with before as far as paid advertising was Arnold Dispatch. So I'm gonna give you and other than that, that's it. Or you can just sign up with a load board and dispatch yourself. What are your thoughts on a motive ELD, or would you suggest something else? We use Fleetmatics. That's all built into our tracking. But motive, from people using, from my research, is the best as far as they focus specifically on ELD. They're the best as far as ELD. If you have a GPS tracking service that also has ELD integration, it'll probably be cheaper for you to go that because you're getting it bundled with your GPS tracking. But if you don't have GPS tracking, you got ELD, then motive is the best from my understanding, my knowledge. You run a middle mile, and you said you're in Ohio, right? You want to run middle mile? I say either do Amazon Relay or you're gonna have to get a load board subscription and run off the load board. Those are your two options. Mario said it. I just kind of said that without saying it, but he said it. I can't really say it, but I can. I did really say it, but you can get a subscription to I'm gonna get a subscription to a load board, and I'm just if I was running middleman, I'm just gonna find my own loads. I know my margins are small, so that 10% or whatever it is, whatever they're charging, whatever y'all agree to, that's 10% that I could be keeping in my pocket. That can go in the tank, that can go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather pay $50 a month or $39.99 for DAT and find my own loads, you know, and do it myself. Used to run OTR doing partials, now I run Amazon. I've never used a dispatcher. The only time I've seen it make sense is when your authority is less than 90 days old and your OTR. My authority is over 90 days. However, will brokers be able to see that I have not taken many loads with my authority? I think Mario is answering this for you. If dispatcher books your loads under their authority. Oh, you guys have a side conversation. T-Gat and Mario. Yeah, y'all talking. All right. So let me get to that way. Y'all have a chat. Hey, Mark, we appreciate your informative content. Last week, we found a gym was able to add three 2014 16-foot budget trucks to our fleet. Got them from a dealer in Georgia. Man, it's good. What are y'all gonna use those 16 footers for? And where did y'all find it? See, y'all find, yeah, last week we found a gym was able to add 3. What are you gonna use those 16 footers for? All right, appreciate it. Q&A, guys. Q&A. Drop those questions in the chat. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. What time is it? 10 o'clock. It's 7:30. Let me see. Another question here is popping up. I got a delay here. Oh, okay. Your contracted postal route. All right. Congratulations, man. Where'd you find the gym? What was the? Where'd you find the gym? Or 14 budget choice 2 hours. You got them from a dealer in Atlanta. Okay. What was the? What you got a really good rate? Did you go to an auction or what? Oh, leader car sales. Okay. Okay. Man, that's good, man. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Q&A, guys. If there's no more questions, then man, we gonna end this one, man. This one was a light one. This one was a light one tonight. About 40 something people. Usually gets about 60 something. It's a light one. You utilize any government grants or business loans? No. No business loans for me. We've done business lines of credit in the past. Haven't had to do anything like that in some years now, as my pretty much infrastructure has been built out for some time now. Um, when there's economic collapses, whatever you want to say, like things like now, it's easier for me to just park the trucks and save money that way. Park some trucks and save money that way. Everything is paid for. I don't have to borrow money by the grace of God. Thank you, God. I don't know. That's stressful. Borrowing like lines of credit and stuff. I remember those days, but no. Government grants. No government grant. I've never received a grant in trucking. Now you can get like MBE, like you're a minority business or something like that. You can bid on certain contracts in trucking, like delivery contract, but I'm gonna be honest with you, that like far and few between, you know. But no, I've never got a grant. I haven't had to do any business lines of credit in some years now, probably at least about 6 years, 5, 6 years. Although I want to know, can a broker see what you have done as far as your, or will they, or will, did he, I thought y'all was having a side conversation. T Gat, didn't he answer your question? Oh, let me see. I'm just, all right, so I want to know, can a broker see what you have done as far as your history? Or will they see that you are over 90 days? They're gonna know when you're over 90 days, so they're gonna go safer. All your information gonna be on safer. So they're gonna be able to see your safety score. They're gonna be able to see when you were authorized. I'm not gonna go on safer because I would have to pull up either my information or somebody's random information. I'm not gonna just do that for the purpose of the video. But they'll know. I mean, they can just go on safer and see that. You know what T got? You know what safer is, right? Now, as far as what accounts or what loads you've ran, I don't know. I'm not a middle mile guy. I know middle mile, but to things that like intricate things, like if they know every single load you've taken, no, I don't think so. But they know when you went active. I mean, I can show you if you want me to. Well, no, because then I'm putting your information out there. It's a certain way you can just go on Safer and you'll be able to know when someone went active. All right. Now, as far as them seeing everything you've done, no, I don't think so. If you were looking for a truck not from Penske, it said, how would you go about looking for one? Um, Commercial truck trader. If you're in a rural market where it's just like it's dense on like box trucks and stuff like that, then you're gonna have to go online, commercial truck trader. Um, yeah, probably commercial truck trader. Maybe Facebook Marketplace. I really don't want to say them, or maybe OfferUp. I sold one of my trucks early this year on OfferUp. So I know people look for trucks on OfferUp, so you might want to try OfferUp. Commercial truck trader would be my first option, though. Right? They can only see what you ran with them. Right? They can't see what you've done for other people. They can see your safety rating. They can look up things like that, your authority. They can look up your insurance. As far as what you've done for other people, like I said, they can't see that. Yeah, I mean, they know when your authority, you haven't taken a load, you can do loads for people that if they have a 90-day rule, as long as you're over 90 days, then they should let you run for them. That you haven't done a load, you didn't know if that would count against you. Yeah, you should be good to go. Your safety rating is created um one when you get into an accident. So the reason I know because I've been through it. When you get into an accident and that state trooper comes out and they write their report, they have a portal that they input that information in. Every state, I guess, with the DOT. I don't know what that side looks like 'cause I'm not a state trooper. I'm not a DOT officer or anything of that nature. But it's got to be something because I see those percentages come up. Also, damn, I lost my train of thought. So yeah, so you get into an accident. Whenever you have inspections, all that information goes in. So if a state trooper pulls you over for an inspection, all that information that they gather from that inspection, they put that into that portal, and then that counts towards your safety score. So whenever you get pulled over by a state trooper, now local police, they don't have access to this. I'm 98% sure they don't have it. Only state troopers, all right, and DOT, like when you pull through way stations and things of that nature. Whenever you get an inspection, whenever you get stopped by a state trooper, the information they gather goes into that portal, and that's how they calculate and generate that score. That's how it happens. Appreciate that, Tinfo. Is Shipley worth it? Probably not. I'm not finna cap to you. Shipley is like UShip. Probably worse because UShip sucks. I did one job off of UShip maybe 8 years ago, and that was horrible. That was a waste. We lost on that job, and that job ended up costing me money. And I never did UShip again. Never, never. Shipley is a carbon generic cutout of Shipley is a generic copy of UShip. So, in my opinion, no, because UShip sucks. So I haven't heard anything. I've never done it. I was run from it, you know what I'm saying? But people I've known that have flirted with it or experimented, I should say, they've had nothing good to say about it. So How much is insurance for a van cargo? I don't know. I don't know. I haven't ran cargo van in. I got rid of my last cargo van in 2016, so I don't know. I tell you one thing, it's a lot cheaper than a box truck. But I don't know. It's something I would have to look into, Mr. Darius. Some. Hey, Mark, just checking to say help. Wait. Oh, I guess you meant to say hello. And appreciate your great contents. Appreciate you, son, for checking in. Thank you. My authority should be ready a couple weeks before Amazon peak. Gonna run it up with them for a couple months, then utilize that, then scale from there. Minimum amount. Did you already apply? You got everything going? BOC3, insurance, and everything. Walk to you. Are you just waiting for it to go active? When's the last time you checked? Usually don't take that long. I know they say a few weeks. Mine went back in the day, went active in a few days, as far as I can remember. It was a while ago, but it was a few days. Like literally a few days. Business starting up. Yeah, I don't know. Darius, I haven't got a quote for vans. As far as commercial vans in some years, I know it'll be cheaper than a box truck. I wouldn't be able to tell you that I haven't dealt with vans in some years now, only trucks. And when I had the two vans that I had, it was all coupled into all my vehicles insurance. So I don't even remember what the breakdown was for the vans in comparison to the trucks. No problem. Hmm. I think so. Oh, let me check something out. Hold on a second. Spin around, spin around, spin around. Give me a second. Oh, I'm tripping, bro. I know I'm tripping. It's getting late. This how I know when I be needing to get off. Cause questions I be knowing the answer to, I just be stuck on. I know last week I was looking at the replay. Somebody asked me something. It was just the simplest question I knew the answer to, and I just had a brain freeze. Yeah. Oh man, my back killing me. Hold on a second. All right. So yeah. So look, when you applying for your DOT and everything, when you go to the FMCSA website, here's the thing. Because somebody asked me something similar like this early with the DOT. The verbiage with the DOT stuff, it can be kind of confusing. And sometimes it confuses me. And sometimes people ask me questions and I know the answers to them, but I haven't had to visit certain questions in years because I did this stuff, a lot of this stuff years ago. But I'm gonna give you I'm gonna put you guys on something real quick. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Where is that? I usually keep it on my desk. Hold on. Where is it? I think I showed it on here before. All right, so because a lot of stuff that I did early on when applying for the DOT, some of the stuff is easy to remember, but whenever I have to go back on stuff that I forgot because I haven't did a lot of that stuff in years, I got this book. All right, JJ Keller. It's thick as hell. If you're gonna get into the game, invest the $300 for this book. It's about $300. All right, and it keeps up every year or so many years. They update it. Somebody asked me a question earlier today about um damn, what was the question they asked me? It was about the crossing state lines with the was it a van or truck? And see, here's how the verbiage goes. A lot of people think you don't need a DOT if you're running commercially and your vehicle doesn't weigh 10,000 pounds. And I know this is not part of your question, but to answer your question, your answer is yes. Miscellaneous mail. Your answer is yes. But here's something I want to talk about too. This verbiage for like this 10,000 pound stuff that a lot of people get mixed up because some people say you do and some people you say you don't. Me in this state of Illinois, the bylaws are different for different states. Here, if you're doing interstate and you're doing it on a commercial level, no matter what type of vehicle you in, you need a DOT. All right. Here we got what's called the Illinois Commerce Commission. All right. And they regulate it on a state level. It's people here with cars that are doing medical delivery, but they're doing commercial delivery. They have to have a DOT placard. All right. So, you know, certain things, you gotta go with what your state bylaws have because some states have regulations within the state for the DOT. So we have DOT, and then we also have the Illinois Commerce Commission. So we have to get the DOT, then we gotta get the ICC, and then we gotta pay both of them. And then the ICC has their own police, and then they do stings and certain rules that apply to the DOT. Uh, Certain rules that don't apply to the DOT. Hold on, how do I say this? Certain things that the DOT that don't apply to the DOT apply to the ICC. So certain states have different bylaws in contrast or parallel with the DOT. And basically, what I'm saying in so many words, because I'm confusing myself now because it is kind of confusing with the verbiage. Know your bylaws within your state because some people will tell you one thing, some people will tell you another thing. And then sometimes the answer is just depends on your state bylaws. So, but the answer to your question is yeah. And I'm confusing myself. So I'm finna get up out of here because it's getting late and I'm tired. Yes, I applied today, didn't get insurance popping yet, waiting a few days before authority is active. All right. Let me see. Okay, cool. I'm gonna call around and check. Miscellaneous mail. Make sure when you're shopping for insurance, please find a broker, not an insurance agent. The broker will shop you around. Yep, that's what I tell people all the time. My broker shops around. Make sure he reshops you every year, 60 days prior. See what comes. Uh, uh, yeah, stay away from Progressive. I went Progressive 1 year because didn't get renewed at the last minute, and we had to go with Progressive. 50,000 to Progressive that year. 50 grand. 50 is what I paid Progressive. I think that was 20 was either 2016 or 2017. Grange didn't renew us. We had Grange. I think we had two claims that year with Grange, and they just didn't renew us. And for some reason, they didn't renew us at the last minute. And my broker was like, "Man, you gonna have to go with Progressive. I don't have enough time to shop you." And he gave me that quote. Oh man, he was like, "Mark, we don't got no other choice. You got to hold in for a year." And my renewal is in June. He's like, "I'm gonna start shopping you next April." 50 grand, man. 50 grand. Texas, you doing 8,900 pounds. I don't know what the where is this? I don't know what this is. I don't know. Maybe you weren't talking to me. Uh, no problem. Sorry if I gave you a long-winded answer. Uh, It's getting late. Sometimes I get a brain freeze, and sometimes I have to go back. There's a lot of regulations in the DOT. Regulations change. That's why I get this book. And normally, when the regulations change, I'll go ahead and buy it. It's not a cheap book, but if you're a serious trucker and you're really in this business and you consider yourself a serious trucker, oops, you need to get this. It's like $297, but you know, I know a lot, you know, in the trucking game, but there's always something that I might have to brush up on because you see how thick this book is, and like this is how people can get caught up, in things they don't know, you know. Cause see, they ain't gonna expect nobody to read all this, and I ain't gonna cap. I've never read all this, but when I need to go look things up, I go to the table of contents to see what I'm looking up, and then I go to the page. But it's a good tool to have, especially if you're serious about it, and then especially if you're running a fleet of trucks, you want to get this book. You want to get it. It's been a tremendous help for me. A lot of things you Google and try to find, you just can't find, but that book has it. So, and that J J Keller makes that. All right. So, all right. Any more questions? Any more questions? Um, One more time before we get out of here. Sunday night for everybody that's questioning about the cargo, because man, I'm telling you, for the last 30 days, like I've been getting flooded. Mark, can you talk about cargo? Cargo, cargo, cargo. I'm like, man, where is all this cargo traffic coming from? It's a box trucking channel. I mean, I can touch on it. That's why I started incorporating cargo videos. But man, like if I tell you how many people, especially in my DM, um, that want cargo van information, and I'm thinking it's because like people have given up on renting box trucks, so like they like, man, and when they go to the rental places are probably, well, we got this cargo van over here, and people are just curious with the cargo van. So since we got all this interest in it, I'm going to do Sunday. I'm going to do a how to scale a cargo van delivery business this Sunday at 7:30. Anybody interested, come on out. And notice it's how to scale a cargo van delivery business, not how to start, how to scale. And the reason why it's how to scale is because if you really want to make money in the cargo van business, you're gonna have to scale. Now, if you're content with, you and your one truck or your one van, you can do Instacart numbers. You can do maybe not DoorDash, but you can do maybe Instacart numbers, because I know a couple people that's doing Instacart is doing $200 to $300 a day. So I'm gonna talk about that. I'm gonna show you how to scale a cargo van delivery business. So that's this Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. How to scale a cargo van delivery business. Other than that, any more questions? If not, then I'm gonna retire for the evening. I appreciate everybody for coming out. 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time every Tuesday night here on YouTube and on Facebook, the Mentors Podcast with me, Mark the Mentor. I appreciate everybody coming out. Hit that like button as you leave out. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys next week. Peace.